Welcome into the Cam and Strick podcast, episode number 267. Fueled by First Form, baby.
Yank. What's up, all y'all out there? What's going on?
I am lacking energy today, just so you know. So you may have to carry the show.
Well, I usually do. Don't you know? I'll tell some stories. You don't have to tell that many long stories if you don't have that much energy. Like it's all good. You know
like if I fall, like literally could fall asleep during the show today from my lack of sleep from. The excitement that I had this past weekend. Lots of stuff going on.
Couple parties you went to, eh?
No, it's fun to get out, but I will say, when you do it, it can set you back, man. I mean, because I don't get to sleep in ever. I got to be up at like 6 o'clock in the morning every day.
Yeah. You got 3 kids, man.
Saturday and Sunday.
I'm up anyway. But yeah, tell me what it's like partying and getting up. Like, I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Never done it before.
Well, you should come out with me sometime.
I would, but like...
and then you'll figure it out.
Like, figure what out? You think I'm in a hole. Like, he thinks I, like...
Cam's in a hole. Cam's in a hole.
Like, Andy shows me videos of stuff, and he's like, I go, ooh, what's going on there? And he's like, you don't know anything. I'm like, okay. Like, geez, okay, you went to a party. But invite me. I'd go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I should have.
I got a birthday party this weekend I got to go to.
Oh, really? Whose birthday?
I think it's a surprise. Maybe I shouldn't even say anything.
Oh, really?
I know.
Oh,
well, my 40th is coming up in April, and I think Kate is going to do something for me as far as like a surprise.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be a surprise, just so everybody knows.
It could be.
There's no way you could set something up with my friends and they don't get back to me. If Kate told you something, I would know right away.
No,
you wouldn't even be able to hold it in, dude.
You don't even.
You wouldn't be able to hold it in.
You don't even know anything as it is right now. You know nothing.
Oh, just no way in hell I'm not going to know.
Nothing.
So it's all good. I'll play the game.
Yeah.
And I'll walk in like, what's going on? Yay.
Can I ask you a question? I don't want to get too personal.
What?
But a lot of people are asking. Sorry if I'm lacking energy, by the way.
Dude,
and no,
figure it
I'm
the
just
fuck
lacking
out.
a little bit of energy.
Figure it, no one cares.
Well, I'm just
They
saying,
want you to have energy, man. We got to bring the heat.
Trying to bring out
Hey,
a little more energy.
And get on, all you guys listening, by the way, on iTunes and all that. Check out our YouTube, man. We're on YouTube.
Oh, you got to subscribe to it.
I got Brown on, baby. I got some who is, Normal Brand stuff on right now. Kate bought me a bunch of shit.
We all do.
Use that Normal Brand too?
Yeah, it is. Cam's like,
Maddie, do you have Normal Brand on?
Cam's
Maddie?
like,
no, he doesn't.
I have Normal Brand on.
Kate just bought me a bunch of Normal Brand stuff.
I was with those guys the other night. Friday night, we had a
60% off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had like a Black Friday special.
So I'm Brown, baby. Brown.
Can I finish what I was going to say? And now I've got lots of different things I'm going to have to respond to. Number one, your scarf, dude. A lot of people are asking about that.
Well,
you
they
got to just get rid of the scarf. It's
Go fuck yourself.
It's not cold outside.
Like who is your buddies at the Creve Court Racket Club talking again?
Well, some people are bringing
bunch
it
of
up.
nerds.
It's 50 degrees outside today.
Oh, I just like it, man.
Yeah, but what's it for?
Style, purposes,
really?
More than anything. I like the
Is
feel
that
of it.
Style?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my own style, Andy, you know.
Yeah.
It's all good.
The other
I'm not going to take advice from you or your nerd boyfriends about how my style is, baby. I got my own shit. You're lucky I got a shirt on anyway. I should take this thing off because I'm getting jacked again.
Are you? Have you been working out?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, what have you been doing?
I do like 200-300 push-ups a day. Then I'll go downstairs and just hit up a couple of things. I got my, all my, things downstairs where I get my mind right, So I got to walk down. Then I have my weight set up down there. So every time I get my mind right, I got to fucking blah, 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 do a couple little things. So anytime I get down there.
You really think you do 200 to 300 push-ups?
Oh, God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Easily. I do 50 at a time.
You know, that's not great for your chest.
Tell me
because
about it.
You can do damage.
No, you do
by
damage.
doing too many push-ups.
No, you do.
You have to recover. You have to repair those muscles.
I know.
I'm just telling you.
Walter Payton or
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker, baby, did a shit ton of those. But anyway, I do push-ups. It's easy to do. You could be in a studio and do it. You don't have to have any machines or anything like that. So I changed it up. I do wide. I'll do different stance here and there. I'll go close to get my triceps and stuff like that. But if you want to have a body like Andy, just listen to what he has to say. But if you don't have a weight room, you don't want to get a goddamn gym membership that costs you out the ass anyway, there's shit that you could do at your house that's so easy. You could do a 35-pound dumbbell and just wrestle it around. You could do your push-ups. You could do your sit-ups. You could do burpees. There's shit that you could do, man, that costs nothing.
Body by what?
What do you do?
Body by
Andy. I want to have a body like Andy does. Like if you're saying that, then don't do anything. But if you want to get jacked up and get cut up, you could do all kinds of stuff, man. That costs nothing.
Brown's an interesting color. I was just having this conversation with somebody. I don't own a whole lot of brown. I don't have a brown suit. I don't have a brown tie. I don't wear any brown, and you're bringing a lot of brown to the table today. So
yeah, baby, representing brown.
What can brown do
look
for
how
you?
brown I look. I do look a little too brown, don't I?
It's like it's brown. I mean, I just don't go brown ever.
Brown on brown
And so
on brown.
with your scarf, I don't know what we've got going on today, Cam. With
Does
the
that
scarf.
bother you that much?
No, the scarf action.
I mean, shit.
You might put it around your neck. Go ahead and just like.
Man, fuck.
Oh,
I like it though.
Yeah,
man.
it's
I just
good.
do
It's
my-
good. You
I
know
do
what?
my
You got to
thing.
have your own style. Don't worry
Yeah,
about what
thanks,
I say.
Andy.
Don't worry about what I say.
No, I don't worry about what you say,
No.
or your buddies that tell me I can't say blue collar, and they're
Wow.
telling me my scarf's bugging. I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get on. Turn that
no.
off, dude. That's so rude.
Oh, it didn't ring.
It's a rude
It
thing to
didn't
do.
ring. It didn't ring.
It's a rude thing to do, man.
Sometimes I forget to put that on silent, but then you get reminded and go ahead and do it, and we're all good, man.
Yeah.
Man, so much to get into. I don't even know where to begin, but there's
Where you wanna
lots of
start?
things going on right now. What's on your little notes there? What do you have for us?
Well, I mean, nothing crazy like last week. You know what I mean? Like the Corey Perry stuff settled down. I mean, there's some teams dominating things like that. You know, I do see, like, I love Ryan Reaves, and this is petty, but I feel like every time he gets into like a verbal chat with somebody, like he gets his show ran. Like he's just so loud. You know, the camera's in his face all the time. Now he's kind of going back at Brad Marchand. And he's like, he told me this, that, and the other. He told me that he makes more money than me. And Marchand just comes back and goes, yeah, I said that to him like 7 years ago. And it must still be bothering him. Like every time he gets into a spat with somebody, I feel like he's getting his show run.
Yeah.
Like I know.
He takes it to the media.
Yeah, he does.
Right? So I think like what happens on the ice all of a sudden becomes a storyline, and that's what happens when you play in Toronto. But
people, when you know, like
you don't think Marchand said that to him like again
probably
the other day?
Yeah, I don't know. Marchand's just like, go fuck yourself. I'm dominating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to score in overtime and a goofy goal. But like people hate Brad Marchand so much. But when they're siding with him, that's when you know you probably should shut the fuck up a little bit.
Is that what's happening?
Kind of. I notice all that stuff, man. I just like read the comments, and they're bashing him.
You're being
pretty good.
very hard on Reaver.
On Reaver?
Yeah, a little bit.
Too bad? Too much?
A little bit, yeah.
Dude, I respect the shit out of him.
I'm
He's
kidding.
still in the
I'm
like
kidding.
upper echelon. Like if I looked at his stats and how many games he's played and his longevity, I'm jealous as fuck of him.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But when you're too loud like that, man, like just
Do you
quiet
think
down
he's
and just
a guy that'll stay in Toronto? You think that this is? I think he signed a 3-year deal, right?
he did. So I don't know. Like,
I don't see him being there for the entire 3. But I didn't see him being there for the whole time either when he signed the contract. Listen, it gets a little much, you know.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like further to like what I've always said. Like anybody who plays in Toronto just gets too much attention.
Not he's
And
getting way
it's like,
too much.
He is, but that's because they feed into it and they love it, and they go to where Ryan Reaves is, and Ryan Reaves makes sure probably that he sits at his stall because he knows that 20 cameras are coming his way. And you don't think he's thinking beyond his hockey career too, man?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
He's got some different entrepreneurial things going on.
In Vegas and all
You
that
know, like he's in his own mind probably Ryan Reaves is like a brand that he's promoting the brand, and he knows he's got a platform there in Toronto that you just can't manufacture. You either have it in hockey or you don't, and typically you don't have it unless you're in a market like that. So he's trying to take advantage of it.
No, and he is.
Yeah.
He's getting a ton of attention, and rightfully so. I just think
But they should.
I just think it gets annoying.
But the media should like focus
You
on
know,
something else.
You're a work pail guy still. Like you're the fourth line guy.
Mhm.
You need to be the happy guy. You're getting all the attention, and you're like the voice box for the team.
Mhm.
And guys are probably like,
in his first year there.
like calm down a little
Yeah.
bit. You know,
You
let
think?
JT talk maybe.
But nobody will tell him.
Well, you should.
You think JT's going to say something?
Hell no, man. He didn't back check on that goal the other day either.
JT's not saying anything to Reaver.
He's not saying anything to anybody.
They're just probably like, "Oh, Reaver, you're so cool. Like, you do whatever." Listen, he kind of does the same thing no matter where he goes. You know, for the most part, except when he was here in St. Louis, man. I will say they had people here that probably, and he was loud here. You know, his
At the
brand
beginning.
wasn't as big as it is now, and
Yeah.
isn't as big as it's gotten since he left here.
Yeah.
You know, going to Vegas where he got a lot of attention. Even in Pittsburgh, he got a little bit of attention.
Yep. Yeah,
you
he
know,
did.
doing some shit off the ice and whatever. But he did some things here that got some attention. That you know, and some
I like
some
Reaver,
stuff
man.
that people may never ever see.
It's
either,
just,
you know?
I just feel like anytime he gets into a little spat with somebody, he gets a show ran a little bit. You know what I mean?
You mean he
Like,
got?
he's not winning these arguments.
Okay, so you think he got a show ran by Marchand
Yeah.
based on what Marchand said?
Of course. And then, like, the last thing he said, people were chirping the shit out of him. If I was out there, I would have done something. Well, you were out there, you know. Then the last thing he said,
I know.
he got owned again. So I'm just like, just chill a little bit.
He needs to just
go play some hockey.
help the team.
Yeah.
Find ways to win.
That's all.
And just be a leader.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
But you're the fourth line guy.
Yeah.
So you can't have this. You're still the fourth line dude, man. Like, these guys are all better than you. They're all are more important situations on the ice. But I feel like he's been in the league a long time, and he just kind of has that I'm part of them attitude, but you're not.
Right.
Because
so you're saying, like, hey, there's Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Morgan Riley, JT.
Boom, boom, boom.
And then you even get into maybe the next tier of players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying Reaves down here, you don't have to be the show every single day.
Exactly.
You don't have to get all the attention. It doesn't have to be about you all the time.
Thank you. That's it, Andy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And I think a lot of people out there would probably agree. Brody's probably going to cut this like I'm saying that. Like
no,
I'm chirping,
I know.
I'm chirping Ryan Reaves.
I'm not chirping.
But listen, dude, we've been on the same page with this for a long time. You know anybody who starves for attention
it's a little too loud,
and tries so hard to get attention has always gotten on my nerves,
Do it on the ice.
You know what I mean? Do it on the ice.
That's the thing. Like, if you're not doing much.
But memo to the reporters and stuff like that, it doesn't have to.
They don't care.
No, but like you're right. It's not memo to the reporters. It's they know that he's going to be able to fill up their stories.
Well, yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, even if he's losing the battle.
Maybe you don't go to him. Listen, there's been athletes like, I've covered other sports here in St. Louis. You know, for a long time, I used to cover like the Cardinals and the Rams and all that. I used to go to those locker rooms, and there'd be the same guys that would talk every day. They just loved the attention.
Yeah.
And I could see who they were. I could see the media loved talking to them. And in a lot of cases, it wasn't the most impactful players on the field. In a lot of cases, it was like they would manufacture this idea to the public that this player is a bigger part of the team than he is.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
And
That's
so then
all.
you talk to coaches behind the scenes, and they'd be like, "This fucking guy sucks, man. And he gets so much attention, and it's all about him, and he knows where the cameras are." So you would.
So
I'm talking specifically the Rams. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when the football team was here, like there'd be certain players that would just be at their stall every day. Most of the big time players in like football, they speak one day a week. Like a big time quarterback like Mahomes probably has this one day a week where he knows where he's speaking to the media. You know, I'm not talking about post game. I'm talking
Patrick
about
Mahomes says the right thing.
I'm talking about during the week, but like those type of guys, right? And a lot of players, even the star running backs, the star wide receiver, they're not talking every day like they do in hockey. You know, after practice, you can just kind of find them. They even if they're in there, like, no, my day's Wednesday. I talk to you guys on Wednesdays.
No, it's more. Yeah, it's
You know
not
what I mean?
every practice day. They do.
No,
I will. You know, Max Domi the other day. I know he got his first goal. I'll give a little shout out, Maxie. We love you and your daddy. But as a bald dude,
I thought it was funny,
as my
man.
cul-de-sac guy, you know, he got shit kicked. He got ragdolled, actually, by Bennett. Sammy boy.
Yeah, dude.
Ragdoll.
Sammy doesn't fuck around.
Dude, he's throwing fucking bombs,
and
man.
that was an angry fight.
Yes.
A retaliation fight.
Yeah, and I'm like, get going, Maxie. Get going. Get that left going, dude. You could throw heat, dude. I've seen it before, and he couldn't. And Bennett fucking wiped the floor with him pretty damn good. And then Max didn't really have a rebuttal in that situation, so he kind of pointed at his hair. I know. And Max has nice thick hair, but you're chirping your daddy too because your daddy was losing hair a little bit.
I thought about that,
but
too,
I'm like, so he got chirped for that. I just evaluate.
I know.
And I'm like,
Well, when you do that right after you lose the fight,
you got
now
ragdolled.
if it would have been the other way around, that he just ragdolled Bennett and then did that,
I
that
know.
would have been the ultimate mic drop.
That
You know what I'm
would've been
saying?
Yeah.
No, it would have been
mic drop, but
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd have been like that's a double whammy.
It would have been like a double whammy. It would have been like, hey, I just beat the shit out of you, and I'm chirping you. Like that's
totally.
That's
But when
different.
you never want,
you have to resort to that after getting beat
you
up.
never
I don't
listen.
know.
When you get beat up like that, you need to be humbled, right? Like that's a humbling. Like no one's looking at your chirp after you get fucking ragged down and say that was good. No, they're like, you better just go put your head down, go to the box, and regroup.
Can I tell
right?
you that when I first saw it, because it kind of went over my head right away. I didn't put two and two together until someone immediately pointed it out that he's talking about Sam
How'd
Bennett.
you not put that together?
Because he got beat up so badly. I thought he was checking for blood on his head.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought he was checking for blood.
Yeah, all right. I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. He could have been checking for blood because he got fucking rocked.
Hey, what do you think of the Bedard situation? He talked to the media in Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
And then, I guess the owner of the Winnipeg Jets came on the team bus and apologized to the Blackhawks and to Connor Bedard for the questions he was asked by the Winnipeg media. And unless I'm missing something, like I went back and watched the media session. I couldn't really find it. I found it on like TSN or something like that. And so maybe they're cutting some stuff out. I mean, I know he's 18, but age is out of the equation here.
You're a man, dude.
Okay, he's in the NHL, so like you can't treat him differently than any other player, even though he's just 18 now. And he's one of the biggest names and faces in the league already at 18. So everybody's put him up on this pedestal before he ever even got to the NHL, and he earned that pedestal just by dominating en route to becoming a professional hockey player. But how do you not ask how he was impacted on the rumors and get his reaction to the rumors that were out there? Like, do you just ignore that altogether?
No, you don't.
I mean, as a media person, as a journalist for those guys, like, he's speaking really for the first time. I know he spoke to the Chicago writers, but, he's in Canada. The Blackhawks are making that decision to make him available. All the stuff went down. Corey Perry's contract was terminated. The rumors were floating out there. The Blackhawks elected, and Bedard's representation, both the team and the agent elected not to address it right away and squash the rumor. And they let it drag on.
Way too long.
And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. They should have came out and said something immediately.
Right off the bat. No family was involved.
This is completely false. Yes. This is ridiculous. What did Kyle Davidson, what did he say? It was disgusting.
It was.
He should have come out and said it was disgusting immediately.
Dude, right
hey, I'm not addressing everything that's going on with Corey Perry, but these rumors out there are disgusting and they're not true. That should have been said right away. But now he meets with the media and they ask him a question. Now, if he was pressed on this, then I apologize because I'm not here. I'm not seeing the entire. Like if it was over and over and over, and they're belaboring the point and they're going too far, then I can see why the owner would feel the need to apologize, or anybody would say, hey, that was crossing the line. Maybe it was too much. But if they just asked him his reaction and his family's reaction and how that impacted he and his family, I think that's a fair question.
I think it's a fair too, Andy, 100%. And even if you do kind of press him on it, that's the biggest hockey story in the world.
How do you just ignore it? What do you want to ask him about the power play?
It's an unfortunate situation, but he's a big kid. You already pump him up so much. He's a prince. Like he's doing his thing. Like he's got to be a big boy too. Like if he's a big boy and he's one of the top guys in the NHL, so you would ask Jamie Benn that, but not Connor Bedard. Like, no, they're in the same league, dude.
He didn't do anything wrong.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like he's got completely innocent in this entire situation.
But he's still in the middle of it.
He was dragged into it.
Yeah.
And he gave an answer, and he said it was a BS comment by somebody in the internet or whatever.
Dude, see how wildfire spreads?
Yeah.
Whoa, man, that's fucking nuts.
Memo to any NHL team out there and any agent out there.
Squash.
And I've talked to a number of agents about this, actually. You got to come to your client's defense, man, and you got to do it right away. I think Newport was a little bit caught in between who represents Corey Perry, but they also represent Bedard, man. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to. They didn't want to bring any attention to it, but it was so loud. It was so crazy. I felt like they are in part. I'm talking about the Blackhawks and everybody surrounding Bedard, in part responsible for getting it to the level that it got to.
Dude, just put your foot down on it.
Because they didn't come out and put the fire out. Put the damn fire out.
Put the fire out, man. It's spreading. This poor kid's like, what is going on? It's been day after day, and he's walking in, everywhere he goes, people are chirping him about it.
But are we supposed to just completely ignore it? Like, he speaks to the Canadian media for the first time. You don't think anyone's going to ask him about just went down, one of the biggest controversies or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah.
Certainly one of the biggest stories, but, it's even bigger than that, man.
What's the deal? Okay, so, Corey Perry's contract gets terminated.
Mm-hmm.
Has Milan Lucic's contract been terminated?
No.
So what's the difference?
Well, I know he went into the NHL.
So is Perry, though.
I don't know if he just said he's going to seek help. I don't know if
I bet you he's going in somewhere.
I don't know.
So what's the difference?
You just never know.
So what if
But I don't know if that's what's saving him. Obviously.
What's saving? How do you terminate one? And one's going to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, but
like,
maybe one is there's allegations and one is being accused of something. I don't know if the Boston Bruins should just automatically turn their back on Milan Lucic without having all the information and the facts. Isn't he pleading not guilty?
Yeah, he's pleading not guilty.
Okay. Where the other one, there was real evidence presented of an actual event that occurred. And I'm not saying the event with Milan Lucic that he's being accused of that didn't happen. I mean, obviously he was arrested and there's something there. And now he's seeking his own help and whatever. He's in the NHL. So,
but if it's not a criminal act, couldn't a team, what if a team's in a jam and they sign this kid for a fucking 8-year deal and 2-3 years in, he's god-awful. And you are stuck with that contract. But then he misses curfew.
Can't do that.
Okay, well, what if he's like second time missed curfew or did something
that wouldn't be
did something a little stupid,
cause,
and they're like, we gotta. This is embarrassment to the organization. We gotta cut ties with this guy.
Put him on waivers and put him in the minors.
Terminate his contract, so you don't have to pay that extra 6 years of 8.5. Because
Cam, you know this. You signed, standard player contracts. You know, like that's you can't like release or get out of a contract because they miss a meeting, whatever. Now there is cause if you're creating some,
Well, if it's a little more than that,
I get it, man. I don't know.
Where's it at? No. Like if you're just waiting for a guy to fuck up, it's a little bit, and you're like, don't say anything to him. Let him go out again, and we're gonna get him. So
Tell him practices at noon tomorrow.
This contract might set our organization back 10 years. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to Praveen right now. When I go to get the mail, my neighbor Praveen, who's got
all the curry.
He's got the okra growing in the backyard right now.
Your neighborhood sounds like a blast.
I mean, it's like that's something he would ask me.
Was that a dumb question?
I know it's okay. I get what you're saying.
About it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Like, can you just get out of a bad contract that you signed? I don't think you can just do that.
What does he have to do to get him to be able to terminate
Probably
his contract?
what Corey Perry did.
Now, which was what?
Well, the word on the street is he did something inappropriate with a coworker. Now, listen, I don't know everything, and I'm not. This is not something that for me personally, it says, I want to break this story. You know what I'm saying? And the hockey
big story to break, Andy.
Hey, but players should be happy in the NHL that the media actually doesn't report a lot of this stuff. Other sports, this would be completely out there. We would know everything. It would be written. But there are a number of media people, I'm sure, who know the same stuff that the team knows or whatever that's been presented to the team and has the information and has elected not to say anything publicly. It's just the reality of it. So Corey Perry should be thankful that that is happening, So
well, he's got his contract terminated.
So he crossed the line with a coworker, whether that means
what does it mean?
Harassing text messages, whether that means something that's bigger, that's a little more inappropriate. Who knows, right?
I'm just curious.
But he should be happy that nobody has brought it all to light.
Okay, but when was the last time a contract?
Public.
Okay, what was the last contracts that were terminated because of something off the ice? Galchenyuk.
Yeah.
Well, we all know what the fuck he did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, threatening a cop, saying that Putin's going to get him and shit like that.
Dropping racist,
Yeah, like you're an idiot. So I get that. Okay, Voyanov.
Yeah.
Contract terminated. Mm-hmm. Well, you beat up a girl and throw her in a trunk, right?
Sure.
You're going to get your
in
contract.
The trunk.
Or whatever. You threw her in the back of the car.
I don't know, man.
Something like that.
It was at the house.
Okay. I heard just crazy shit with that. Voyanov.
Threw her in the trunk of the car like
try to kidnap her kind of.
Oh my god.
Could be wrong.
I don't know about all that.
He done fucked up.
Oh yeah.
It's just domestic violence, whatever.
I mean, he basically they kicked him out of the NHL.
So okay, domestic violence, threatening police, racism.
Yeah, like missing practice is a little bit of
a
different situation.
But what's the threshold that you could do with it getting your contract terminated? Because he didn't. If he would have grabbed her or something like that, to be some kind of.
I don't hear about him filing a grievance or anything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just curious,
He doesn't seem to be fighting it. He came out and made an apology.
Well,
right?
So did Lucic, didn't he?
I don't know if Lucic.
Maybe he did.
Lucic made a statement.
Maybe he's not going to say anything because he's got to go through this process too.
Correct.
I'm just curious, man. I'm just curious on what's a contract termination all about. What do you have to do? Yeah, you fucking beat up your girl, you're gonna get fucking done. Mm-hmm. You're a goddamn racist, psycho, fucking Russian. That's lucky that cop didn't beat the shit out of him.
He's American too, actually.
Well, didn't look
he
American.
He was born in Milwaukee, I think.
Was he born there?
Yeah.
He's got an accent.
I know he does, but
he's born in Milwaukee.
Yeah. He was born in the States.
Who's he
He
talking
played
to
for
then?
Team USA in the World Juniors.
Who's he acting like
Did you
he's gonna
know
come
that?
from? Who's he acting like he's gonna come from Russia and start fucking killing cats? Like,
Did you know that?
you're an American, baby.
He played for Team USA in the World Junior Championships.
Yeah.
Did
Go
you know
Chunya.
that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. I'm just curious, man. You know, I'm just curious. It is what it is. You know, like fucking crazy shit going on, man. I feel for Corey Perry, and I felt for Connor Bedard.
Do you feel for Corey Perry?
Yeah, I do a little bit, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's goddamn embarrassing.
Do you know that
he fucked up?
I know,
and his family's like, "Fuck you," and his kids are gonna hear about this shit. And then what you did to Connor, like, I bet you he was so good to Connor too. I bet you Corey Perry was so sweet to him, helped him out. You see in practice after practice, you fucking give him one-timers, and all of a sudden this shit goes down, and like your buddy that you're paid $4 million to protect and be like your fucking wingman and everything in life and everything, and now there's a rumor about you sleeping with his fucking mom that didn't get squashed for a week. All that combined, I feel bad for Corey Perry a little bit. Now he done fucked up, but man, like anytime you think of Corey Perry, it's all negative now, and it's probably going to be like that for a long
we've
time.
never he's pretty much had a spotty, like a clean record throughout his entire.
He's a worm, but
The
dude,
worm, yeah.
Before this happened, like
Yeah.
Corey Perry, I chirped Reaver for chirping Corey Perry.
Yeah.
Remember that? And I'm
Yeah,
like, Reaver's
no.
chirping Corey Perry. I'm like,
That's
Corey
one-
Perry's almost a Hall of
It's
Famer.
another incident
I
Reaver
told
had
you.
this year.
Now you agree with
Hey,
me a little bit on that?
No, I've always
Okay.
felt that way a
I
little
don't want
bit.
to pile on Reaver.
Listen,
I love him.
I know. But yeah, I mean, I don't like overly feel. Listen, Corey Perry, I think he probably did something that
He fucked up, dude.
countless other NHL players have probably done.
I bet you I've seen what he's done.
So you know what I mean? So countless NHL players just they haven't gotten caught, or maybe they certainly haven't gotten caught with a team employee, or it was swept under the rug, or it was handled internally. Do you think Chicago was caught? Hey, because of what went down with Brad Aldridge,
It's another thing.
that they were like, we gotta, like, we can't keep this
That's
kid.
exactly right.
We can't keep him here. We have to cut the cord, and we have to act immediately because we're under the microscope and people are going to be looking at how we handled the previous situation. We can't make the same mistake again.
So if this happened on a different team that didn't have the baggage that the Chicago Blackhawks have, that are still going through that process, could have Corey Perry somewhat got out of this and they swept it under the rug? That's a legit question to ask.
Yeah, no, it's a very
Or they just
legit
like backed
question.
into a corner like, fuck. Kyle is like, hey,
Yeah.
I got to stop this
Yeah.
now. You're terminated. You're
Yeah.
out of here. No ifs, ands, or
Yeah.
buts about it.
Yeah.
NHLPA can do what they want, but as of right now, you're fucking done.
Because let me say, man, it's not just players. I mean, there's coaches, there's executives, there's, who all like broadcasters. They all live the life.
Medical trainers.
Medical trainer, whatever it
You hear
is.
about the one-
Equipment people.
The one in Jersey,
What?
who got fired in Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to say his name,
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
but he stole from the fine fund
Oh,
when I was there.
God.
He stole, and Marty and the guys were like, we don't.
Where is it? Like in a jar in the back room?
No, it's all this coins in this whatever
Coins.
coin, money.
Yeah, like
Yes, cash.
cash and
Fucking
stuff.
cash.
So it's all like in a literal.
Yeah.
It's not like in a bank account somewhere.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's all cash or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like whatever, even if
Yeah.
it wasn't a bank account, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But he stole from it, and he had a nicer vehicle than 3/4 of the guys on the team. And everybody's like, "It's interesting. Jersey's expensive."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, "Whoa, he bought nice stuff." And then if we found out that he was dipping in to the fine fund, which was a shit ton of money,
Wow.
yeah, and he got canned. I know.
Yeah.
Great guy.
So
but he got fired.
So I'm not making an excuse for Corey Perry. I want people to know that. I'm not like all I'm saying is
I'm saying that you are.
Yeah, nobody. But
I'm the one that said I feel
I'm
sorry for
not
him.
like saying the team shouldn't have done what they did because we don't have all the 100% of the
I don't know.
details. I think we've heard a lot of different things, spoken to different people, but again, you're relying on their information to be accurate 100%. So, unless it came from the team or from Corey Perry or somebody directly involved, then you probably don't have 100% of the details. But I'm sure the previous incident, how could it not impact how the Blackhawks reacted to this incident? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I'm sure there's been teams that have had star players in their prime who have done some shit away from the ice.
You think?
And it's been swept under the rug. They handled it internally. Everybody was on the same page. Nobody said anything. Executives aren't sparkly clean. Coaches aren't sparkly clean. Trainers. So it's a different world, man, for a lot of people.
It is.
You know, when you get into that world, man, where you're traveling as often as they're traveling, you make as much money as they make, the power that they have because of their status as celebrities. They live a different life than most people. And you know, obviously football, basketball, baseball, man. You hear the stories all over. Entertainers, you know, musicians, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's
Talk show hosts.
Not reality.
They fucking, talk show hosts like Ellen DeGeneres is getting fucking chirped for treating their people like shit. Like all these people, like I'm clean, good. I'm for this. I'm honest. Like no, you're a fucking weirdo. And if you tell people that you're the honest one, that means that you're fucking not. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, I'm honest all the time. Oh, really? Interesting. You never lie ever? Oh, okay. Good for you. Good for you. You're lying because you do lie. Everybody lies. If we didn't lie, we wouldn't be friends with people. No one would be friends with anybody. You got to lie once in a while. So don't tell me you're not a liar. Now, how much do you do it?
Do you lie?
And how big is it? You got a fib here and there, dude. You kidding?
Do you lie to me?
You ask me how I look sometimes, and I go, you look goddamn good. Meanwhile, your shirt's wrinkled as fuck. No, you got to lie once in a while.
Oh, this shirt is underneath it.
Oh, it's wrinkled a little bit, baby.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's okay. You look good. It's Storm brand.
Okay.
It's throw in a dryer.
Yeah.
It's throw in a dryer with a wet sock.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah. Wet sock.
A wet sock.
Yeah.
And that just completely dries it.
Yeah, it just kind of gets
the wrinkles out of it.
And get it out. And there's this stuff that you take on the road too.
Steam, yeah.
It's like a Febreze stuff that gets the wrinkles out on the road. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, write that down.
That's good to know.
Write that down.
I know. I appreciate that. That's good to know. Have you made any like holiday decorations, dude? Can I just say these people on Instagram? They'll just like take like anything and they'll turn it into like a Christmas craft, dude. Or like
I do that?
Some type of
wife
food
does.
where they'll have like 6 ingredients and all of a sudden they turn it into like an elf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't eating it.
I mean, it's just like where are they coming up with this stuff? You know, they'll just take tomatoes and mozzarella cheese, and they make like a wreath out of it. I'm like, oh my God, like how do they even have this vision for this type of stuff?
Well, that's where people are creative in different ways.
Very creative.
My wife's creative with that kind of stuff, man.
Is she?
Yeah, big time.
So is my wife. She made a, in my kids' lunch today, it was like an elf. It was a green grape with a little banana on top of the grape and then a strawberry on top of the banana. So it was like a Santa Claus hat. And it was like a Grinch, I think is what it was. Cute. Actually, dude, on a toothpick. Dude.
I do see videos of families that their kids are all like, it's like the night before Christmas.
In their pajamas.
And like they're having like their family over and stuff like that. And all the kids are like, we love Christmas, yay, yay, yay. And all of a sudden, somebody knocks on the door, and it's a Grinch walks in like, rawr!
I know.
And that goes and like the kid's like, oh God. And he takes a treat, he throws a treat on. Then he takes all their presents and throws them in this like huge sack and steals it and runs out. And the kids are fucking losing their shit.
Yeah.
They're crying. They're under the table like, God help me. I'm thinking, why would you do that?
I know.
Like I'm hardcore with funny stuff and whatnot. Yeah. Like my parents did that to me and my brother would be like, I'll fuck this guy up. But a lot of kids are like, God, it's the devil. And now they're stealing. Like that's gonna like ruin them. It's gonna ruin their Christmas. I don't understand that. I see it all the time where the Grinch walks in and like the kids are crying. Now they're just gonna remember crying on the night before Christmas where you're all with your cousins. Everybody's like happy.
Why would any parents think that would be funny?
I see it all the time.
I've seen
Don't you see it though?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, ay.
I know.
I'm hoping like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Poor little Ivy's like, what's going on, Daddy? Like I'd be, I don't know. Like, no, don't steal her presents. Like, let her like be happy, and this is her like time. I don't like that. Stop doing that to the children.
None of the kids ever believe in Santa Claus until like you get close to Christmas, and then it's like they know. Like,
I knew there was no.
No, they all know.
For a long time.
And then you get close to Christmas, it's like just the environment. They just They just don't think about not believing.
It's a magical
in Santa.
time.
They just embrace the energy.
Do you remember how awesome it was? Like when you drive over to your grandma's
embrace
house,
their imagination.
all your cousins are there. They're older than you. You want to look right. You're getting presents. Like everybody's there. Like it's just like such a happy time. Then the fucking Grinch comes in, and he steals your shit, and you're crying underneath the goddamn coffee table. What's the point of that? Anyway, no big deal.
I've seen those people. Blay
ain't that big of a deal.
Blay would attack that guy.
Blay would do nothing.
No, he would probably attack.
Blay would do nothing. No defense mechanism at your house.
Do you know good. Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes have the same amount of points right now?
Yeah, dude.
They both have the same plus minus.
Who's got more games? Because Cale got hurt.
Well, then there's your answer, Makar. So Cale actually averages more than, in terms of points per game, it's higher than Quinn Hughes. I know there's a lot of talk about, like, who you would rather take. To me, it's still not.
Still Makar.
Yeah, 100%. No, like,
bigger, man.
He's more physical.
Yeah, he just gets around guys, dude.
Yeah.
Like God.
As
Hughes
great
brothers.
as Hughes is.
How about the one Hughes from Devils got rocked the other day?
By Hathaway, right?
By Hathaway. And look, man, like I saw that clip. People are messaging me on Twitter about it. I'm like that's a clean hit. But the line, you should have blown the fucking whistle down, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you blow the whistle at the hash marks when there's a race, and if he's beating him by the hash marks, you blow the fucking whistle down.
That's the reason why they have the rule
That's why
in
they
place,
did that, dude.
so people aren't getting crushed into the end boards.
Yeah, but
on
I don't
icing
blame
play.
Hathaway for hitting him because
he
he's like,
played to the
oh fuck, they're
whistle.
calling it. I must have got here in time. Now it's free. Now it's fair game, and they hit side by side.
Yeah,
and people are losing their minds. I'm like, and he got booted out of the game, 2-5-10 and whatnot. Yeah. But I'm like,
it was loud, and he got hurt on the play.
He got rocked, dude. But like Liney, like what are you doing? Right when they hit the hash marks, blow it down, dude. That's how guys get hurt.
Jack Hughes,
he was pissed.
Do your job.
Fucking job. Yeah, that's your blood, dude. You stick up for your blood like that. Damn right. Devils are not.
What's he gonna do though?
Nothing.
Situation?
He's gonna yell at the ref.
Yeah.
But like, no, like you yell at the liney, like blow the fucking whistle down, dude. That was, but it wasn't a dirty hit. It's like, people are like, what do you think? I'm like, all right, blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle.
Blow the whistle. Damn. But
Yoink.
God damn it.
Amen. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad Luke is doing well, actually.
Yeah.
He scored the game winner, by the way.
Yeah, he came back.
In overtime.
Fucked up. Man, but that sets you back when you get hit like that, Andy. I'm sorry. Like, he's hurting, dude. He's hurt. Can I give a little shout out, please? A little shout out, because this is what I do. I know we chirp a lot of stuff. Andy and I try to be entertaining for all you guys. But I'm going to give a little shout out to Mitchy Boy Marner. Mitchy Boy. Like, if you look at Mitch and you were going to compare him to everybody else in the league as far as toughness is concerned, he probably ranked pretty low. He's a hell of a hockey player. But then you see, and this just shows all you guys, when I hang out with a bunch of baseball people and stuff, those pansy asses at times. Like, I can't, and I get it. You can't throw a ball, you can't play, but they are soft as dog shit. And this Mitchy Marner, who's like Andy's size, gets a slap shot to the fucking face.
Hard.
Fucking
right
eats
on
it.
his right on his
He eats
cheek.
it like a man, like, oh, I can't, la. Eats it like a man, goes and puts a dirty-ass cage on, came and put his fucking mouthpiece in, and he goes out there and plays the rest of the game. Didn't miss a fucking beat.
Yeah.
That's a hockey player for you. Mitchy Marner, I'm giving you a little shout-out, baby. All y'all, look at that kid, man.
Yeah.
He's 120 pounds, soaking wet like Andy, and he eats that puck on the jaw, shatters his jaw, goes in there, says, fuck it, I'm putting my mouthpiece back in.
Shattered it?
Dude,
he came back and scored a hat trick the next game.
Dude. Little shout out to you, Mitchy Marner.
His second career hat trick.
Good for you, homeboy.
And I'll say this right now because he won't be listening, but I got Ty a Marner jersey for Christmas.
Good. From China.
Yeah, it did. So
those kids are working hard. Andy likes to go to China. Those kids do a good job.
This is the second time I've ordered from
Sweatshop.
China.
They're going to fuck his name up.
The first time I ordered from China, I ordered two things. The Ovechkin jersey never came. And I still haven't gotten it.
Those poor kids are still slaving away, dude. Just for you.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's who's making this? You think every manufacturer in China. You think every manufacturer in China is kids?
Not just in China. A lot of other places too.
Vietnam.
Just so you know.
Taiwan.
Just so you know.
India.
Just so you know. You're
Did you
damn
see
right.
those
They're
Indi-
working fucking
You see those
hard.
Indians fighting on the plane?
I see a lot of plane fights, man.
I shouldn't say that. Can I
Na-
not say that?
Eastern Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What's wrong with that?
Because I have a lot of friends who are Eastern Indian.
Yeah, your
like,
neighbors.
Yeah. And I love Indian food. I go to hit those buffets up all the time.
We know, Andy. You like curry. That's
I
know.
love Bombay aloo, saag,
We know you like your food. That's fine.
paneer.
So what about it, dude?
They're fighting on the plane, dude, about and they, in their accents, it just got a lot of attention.
Yeah, I don't
It got like millions of views.
see if I'm on a plane.
Can you play that for us, maybe? I don't know, Maddie. I don't know if we can play that. Well,
Maddie, don't worry about it. Jesus, ain't that big of a fucking deal. But I'll tell all y'all this right now. If I'm on a plane, though, I will. And somebody gets weird. Like I'll be looking around to see who my partner is going to be, to be able to take this son of a bitch.
Oh,
down.
I do that too.
And I'll look at Andy and I'm like, oh boy.
No, like
you,
some people.
Andy will go in the back with the women and children. But I'll know the shit kickers and I'll give them a little wink. Like,
What are you
ready?
looking for?
I'm looking for somebody that is seeing what I'm seeing, seeing somebody loud that's
You
chirping
give them a look.
chirping the Stewies, getting a little weird, and then they're going to disrupt this flight that's going to fuck us all over. And I'll look at guys and be like, you ready to do this? Like I'd look, see some
Is
shit
that
kicker.
what you say?
I'd look at him like, you ready? I'm going first. Just have my back because I'm going to take this motherfucker down and we're going to tie him up.
Take what down?
The guy harassing everybody, Andy.
Hey,
what are you talking about?
I asked you last week.
The guy
2 weeks
harassing
ago.
everybody, that's harassing the Stewies, that's harassing everybody, that's going to get kicked off the plane,
Yeah.
and we're going to have to divert to Dallas, Fort Worth instead of going to fucking Minnesota.
I asked you if you've ever had a crazy person on a plane with you.
because they know when I'm on that fucking plane, I'm not putting up with this shit. And I would look and I'd pass you right up because you're going with the women and children. But I'm going to know the shit kickers and I'm going to be like, get up and be like, that's it, motherfucker. I'm getting this guy and I'm going to pin his ass down and we're going to fucking tie him up and we're going to get to our destination. He's going to get arrested when we land where we're supposed to land. That's what I do. That's what I'm going to do.
I saw a well, first off, I do the same thing.
No, you don't.
No, I do. Because
You're like,
I'm
what-
like, who's
what's happening here?
Who's going to, help us?
Stewie, help me. Like, we'll put you in the back, Andy. It'll be all right.
who's
I'll
gonna-
lock you in the back.
I always look
Good
like
God.
who is going to, be the one to help us,
You got it. Yeah, dude. I'm always.
But that could be the guy who goes crazy, too. That you think is going to help you, maybe the guy who's going to go crazy.
We already know the guy who's going
crazy. Did
crazy.
you see the video with those guys? They were talking amongst themselves to see who was going to be the suicide bomber,
Oh,
like
God.
the terrorists. No, they were discussing amongst themselves, and they all wanted to be the guy to drive the van that had all the explosives in it.
Because they're going and they're going to die and they're going to see 72
so
virgins. Don't you understand that?
Okay, so the guy who
You're at,
hold
your,
on,
your
we're gonna
people are
talk
at a
about
war.
that.
Just
So
so
we're
you
gonna
know.
talk about
You
that.
should know that.
So the guy who was chosen, and he's celebrating.
shit. Of course.
So he knows he's going to
Because
die.
Allah is
He
going to
kno-
give him 42 virgins or 72 virgins. You didn't know that?
So explain that to me.
oh God.
I mean,
man.
are you
Your
ma-
people are at war.
I know that.
And you don't know this? That's their mindset. They want to.
That's why they
that's
do
a
it.
jihad.
So
dude.
they are willing to take their own
Yeah,
life
or a child
and
just
bring
so you
down
know.
all these other people.
Yeah.
Because they're is it the religion that is telling them this?
Yeah.
Okay, so the religion has them believing there's a reward for
Yeah.
doing it.
Yep. Yes. 72 virgins.
So do you think
jihad.
Do you
Look it
think
up.
they're evil people, or do they even
Yeah.
know?
I think they're.
Do they
no,
even know what they're
They're
doing?
smart.
They're brainwashed.
They're smart, evil people.
Are they
like
brain-
all these
Are they
terrorists.
brainwashed?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. You think you're going to go to heaven and see 72 virgins after you fucking blow up a hospital? Are you fucking kidding? Or Hamas, who puts all their children in the hospital and underneath, and all the prisoners, and they have all their people underneath the hospital, so the Israelis don't blow the hospital up.
Right.
They're like, we got children here. Like, that's what they do.
But they're letting some people out.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
let a couple people out. I don't know if they let any Americans out yet or not,
No,
but
they
it's
let- oh,
chaos. It's
yeah.
chaos. It's funny how none of the other Muslim religions or Muslim countries want any of the Palestinians in their countries. Funny how that works. Jordan to fucking
Give me some other countries.
Jordan to fucking Lebanon to
Iraq,
yeah, no one's
Iran.
no one's go there. Iran is the one that's scary, man. But Libya to Egypt.
Okay.
They won't let any of these.
They don't want,
anybody.
Of the,
Look at
the
it.
Hamas.
No, well, because Hamas, you got to think Hamas, man, in Palestine has fucking arms everywhere, dude, connected. So like This guy might not be directly with Hamas,
Right.
but his cousin is right there. Like, it's just hard to like predict who's going to be right and who's going to be. So it's a tough situation, man. It's a weird, complex situation, one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in China, I ordered 3 jerseys. I ordered a Marner jersey because I really like Mitchy Marner, man.
I
This
do
guy,
too. He's
he
a
just
warrior.
puts up points. Now he is, even though he got hijacked at the movie theater.
No, it's not hijacked.
Carjacked.
It's carjacked. What a horrible. Was he in Toronto when that happened?
Carjacked.
Was
yes,
with
he
a
was
gun?
at a movie theater
And the guy had a gun?
in his Range Rover.
He had a gun?
Oh, I'm sure. It's Canada.
Well, it's
so you
Canada,
never
so it's
know.
like, did he have a
Like
gun? or
LeBron,
did he have like a.
LeBron almost got in a fight at courtside, you know.
Whatever.
Did you
You
see
always
that?
bring LeBron into shit.
Well, LeBron.
Like, I made a good. We had like one of our best fucking. We have one of our best clips talking about William Nylander.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about his dad and stuff, and all of a sudden, Andy's kind of throwing fucking LeBron.
What
James.
about him? Oh, he wants to play with his son?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, he does.
my face was like, I look like such an idiot.
And
And
I-
you just like half the three bringing LeBron or Brittany Griner or somebody. Like, my God.
I took Ty to get a pair of shoes, and he liked these shoes. He tried them on, and then I told him they were LeBron's, and he wouldn't get them.
Oh, really? Well, he doesn't need to be like that.
He doesn't like them.
Why?
I don't know. He likes Justin Tatum. I got
Jason
him
Tatum?
Jason Tatum. Justin's is
St. Louis
Jason's
boy? He's a
dad.
St. Louis boy.
So I got him a Jason Tatum Celtics jersey. I got him a Joe Burrow Bengals jersey. I had to get like multiple jerseys because only one's gonna come, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we get all 3. My people in China are working extra hard.
The children.
to get it here by Christmas.
His people are the children there. His
So
sweatshops.
and then the Marner jersey.
That's funny. My people. Good for you. Like your people in China.
Would you go to China?
Well, I want Zhang to come to St. Louis. Why do you
Oh.
think that is?
Well, there's a number of different reasons.
Why do you think I want him to come to St. Louis?
Is
In the
it-
hardcore
Are
parts.
you
Why?
sure his name is Xing
Xi Jinping. Why do you think I want him to come to St. Louis?
Xing Jinping?
Yeah.
Is the full name?
Xi Jinping is his last name.
His last name Jinping.
Yeah, JINGP, whatever. Fuck.
Um,
Powerful man. Why do I
very
want?
powerful.
Why do I
I
want
ain't
him-
chirping him, man?
Why do I want him to come to St.
Just so
Louis?
you know, I ain't chirping any.
know.
Because he's got a lot of power. Why do you want him to come to St. Louis? Well, there's a number of different reasons.
Whoa, tell me one.
The economy probably, or to maybe put some businesses here.
So when they had him go to San Francisco, which is a disaster.
Oh my God, the
They
mayor.
cleaned up.
They cleaned up the whole city.
the whole city. You could drop.
Chinatown.
You could. It wasn't Chinatown.
It
But
wasn't?
they had all the Chinese people. Like, yeah, funny how that works. It's all set up. So they went. Fucking Gavin Newsom
Yeah.
had Ping come to San Francisco. And San Francisco is such a disaster. Homeless people fucking shitting everywhere, like nasty. They cleaned the streets up in a matter of days.
Really?
Where you could walk around with a walnut fucking pie and drop it on the fucking street and pick it back up and eat it. They cleaned up everything when this son bitch came in. And they're like, what happened there? We'll just invite.
Walnut pie?
Yes, we'll invite Ping to come to St. Louis,
Jinping.
and they will clean everything up for this guy. And all of a sudden, now you have a
Damn.
clean city.
Well,
That's all it takes.
Okay, so yeah, because I read about that actually with Xi
I'm sure you
Jinping.
did.
I did. I saw that. And then there was some controversy though with Gavin Newsom and stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, he looks like a politician, doesn't he?
Mm.
You mean Gavin Newsom that shut down all the schools, but his kids still went to school? Oh, you mean Gavin Newsom that fucking locked everybody down, every restaurant, fucked all these businesses over, but he still went to the nicest restaurant
He
in
did,
San
he
Francisco
did,
with
with
no
his
mask
wife.
on too? How? Oh my God. How is that? Oh, your kids are okay.
Sneak away
you
for
shut
vacation.
fucking people down like you can't
He was
believe
going
like,
on vacation.
Going on vacations and fucking just like I'll give Chris Christie, fuck you too. Not to mention you shut down the fucking George Washington Bridge in fucking high traffic area because you're of some political bullshit. And then you shut down the beaches in Jersey.
And he's
but his
on the
fat
beach.
fucking ass is on the beach eating a goddamn turkey leg in his backyard.
Really?
Like that kind of shit.
What do you mean
That-
his backyard?
Because his backyard goes
Well, it's not a public beach.
dude, yes it is. That's you shut down every fucking beach so people can't go on the beach, but yet
He's on his property, you
dude,
said?
that's a public beach.
Oh, like in like the Hamptons or something?
This is just it's just like you shut it down, but rules apply to you, but not to me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Do as I say, not as I do. That's your typical politician. They all fucking suck. And we're in a weird jam right now. You shut everything down, but it's not I'm okay. Corona's killing everybody. But yet you aren't wearing a mask and your kids are
Yeah.
going to school still. It just sucks.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It just, if you know, you know, and you see it and you're like, fuck.
So
you.
Gavin Newsom cleaned up all of San Francisco. So
He
that's
didn't.
why
You
you
think he
want
did it?
Jing. Well, his people did. He had
Yeah.
his staff, whatever.
He ain't doing anything.
The street cleaners, obviously, they were probably working overtime.
It looked beautiful.
I know,
like,
it
fuck,
probably
you
didn't
could-
look
you-
that nice.
It
dude.
looked
Maybe
compared
in
to
that-
what it was.
Maybe in
Are
that
you
little
kidding?
stretch of China.
Dude, they got people shitting on the roads. It is
Hey,
disgusting.
listen, I've been to the Bay Area
Fucking nasty.
countless times, and
It's expensive and nasty.
I like it there. It's cool.
Okay.
Weather's great.
Well, it's not. Fucking cold, dude. Windy as shit.
Napa's nice.
Napa Valley is always nice. They're not doing that there.
Mhm.
Go to San Francisco and find a normal house. Go ahead.
A normal house.
Go find a
lot of
normal
row
house
houses and
for
stuff.
you
Oh,
would live in a
dude,
you would live
it's-
in a fucking
It's like the most expensive city in
Yeah.
America. It's like
one of them in the
it's
world.
right there with 100%. It's right
It
there,
is.
right behind New York, probably.
Yeah,
probably
New York,
second.
LA, San
It's
Francisco.
right there with and Seattle's up there now too, man.
Yeah, anywhere on the West Coast like that, man, it's expensive as fuck. You know,
Mhm.
it really is. But it just shows that you can clean the streets up, but a powerful fucking hardcore
So
cat from
what
China's
was he
gonna come
trying to do? Why did he clean them up?
show off to him?
Okay.
Like how nice our stuff. Look at we don't have.
Why
any
was
problems
Gavin
here.
Newsom and Xi Jinping meeting up?
Who knows? Probably talking about climate change. Who the fuck knows, man? But I'm sure they got far with different things.
How long's the presidential term in China?
Well, he won. The votes were like I think like 60,000 to 0. Just like
Oh,
Kim Jong Un.
You mean like they?
Come on, and like Kim Jong Un.
It's like it's not a very fair balloting process.
China.
It's like give me your votes. And like they don't
Like,
even
like,
they
when
don't even like.
I mean, come on, Andy. You know what I mean? So
so everyone
why,
votes,
like,
but they don't count the votes.
You chirp our system.
Mhm.
You chirp our system, and there's so many ways to chirp our system in Canada's and whatnot. But we're doing pretty damn good if you really compare it to everywhere else. Like, well, how's Sweden doing? Well, yeah, Sweden's good. They have 50 million people. Not even. You know what I mean? There's not crime. There's no guns up there. They're isolated. Yeah, they're not going to have COVID was fine up there. They didn't even shut anything down in Sweden. But I don't know, man. We're doing okay, but there's a lot of fucking weird shit going on. Big time. Big time, baby.
I got to give a shout out to Nikita Kucherov, the Cooch.
The Cooch, man. Chasing that Cooch everywhere, dude. It's hard to do.
Gets a lot of power play points, dude.
He's good.
He plays a ton. This guy plays over like 21 minutes. He's 30 years old. You look at his like point per game totals throughout the course of his career. I know he's been on some really good teams, and so it's no surprise that his plus minus is always like super impressive. And this guy, he gets a lot of attention, but doesn't get enough attention. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think he gets that much attention at all.
I think people recognize him as a great player, but
Boy,
then
he's
then if you really look at his numbers, like he's had some
dominating.
incredible years, dude.
Yeah.
Incredible years.
He had like 100.
123 a couple years back.
Yeah, dude. Dominated. He's a winner. He's a winner, dude. I don't think he gets enough attention, to be honest with you. I don't think he does. But I'm glad you gave him a little shout out, man. The
You-
Cooch, baby. He's
You
fucking
know,
good.
He's not, Ilya Mikheyev or something like that,
Yeah.
or like, Pierre Engvall, Like in Toronto, it's like if he played in Toronto,
Yeah, but he doesn't.
I know. I'm
And
just
he's
saying.
probably happy.
I'm just saying that's why he doesn't get all the attention. It's like
He's-
Nikita Kucherov doesn't get as much attention
It's Reaver.
as Ryan Reaves or
Exactly.
Ilya Mikheyev.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like all I ever hear about is like Ilya Mikheyev and Pierre Engvall.
and Reaver said something to
And
somebody.
Reaver said something. It's like,
But like Coochie's dominating. Like talk about
Kucherov
him.
has like 120 points.
Yeah.
We don't need to hear about Mikheyev.
What other team don't you hear about that's dominating? That just doesn't get attention. Dallas.
Well, Vancouver, although they've been kind of like,
They get it.
oh, they get plenty.
They get
actually.
plenty. So I'm like,
They've been
Dallas
a little
is
more
one.
off and on. Dallas, yeah.
Dallas is one. Carolina doesn't get, but they're kind of up and down, their goalie situation. Carolina the other day, did you see that fucked up game? Who are they playing? It might have been Tampa. Carolina played Tampa the other day. They let in 8 goals on 14 shots.
Oh, I know.
That's a disaster.
8 goals on 14 shots.
That's an alumni game.
Listen to Kucherov. He's only played 668 games. He missed some time with that.
Yeah.
He had the hip surgery or whatever it was. He had something where he missed like the whole year and then came back in the playoffs. Remember a few years back?
Yeah.
He played 23 games in the playoffs and had like 32 points. But he didn't play a game in the regular season.
Oh yeah, well, and then they were like $26 million over the cap.
Exactly.
Fuck you. He didn't play all season.
I
You're
know.
still dominant. I don't
I
give
know.
a fuck about
He's
that.
like, I'll just take the year off
Doesn't
and come
bother
back
me.
and play in the playoffs.
Doesn't bother
If
me.
you were that good and you knew you didn't even need him to get to the playoffs or even to secure home ice advantage,
Keep him out.
you're like, dude, just don't play
And
the whole season.
we're gonna win.
And then you
We're-
could come back and play in the playoffs.
Just like what
I don't know how many guys that would
Vegas did that.
voluntarily do that.
Do you don't think Vegas did that with Mark Stone?
Well, Chicago did it years ago with Patrick Kane too.
Yeah.
He got hurt during the season, and then all of a sudden, like the timing, just perfect timing. He's ready for game 1 of the playoffs.
Kaner's probably like, no, I get the game. I got hurt at a bad time. We got a couple new players because my cap hit, and I'm probably ready 2-3 weeks beforehand. But you know what? I'll be ready in 3 weeks, and we'll have a new team because we got a couple other guys that we were able to get. Why wouldn't you do that?
Kucherov already has 3 seasons with over 100 points.
Dude,
this
awesome.
is going to be his 4th.
He's awesome.
I want more about Cooch.
Coochie, baby.
Cooch for MVP, man, for the
Less
Hart.
other cats that are irrelevant and more Coochie.
He did win the Hart in 2019 when they had their historic season, and they lost to Columbus.
They should count games in the playoffs too, man. Like, and points. I think they should.
They should count their playoff points?
I think maybe not points, but as far as games played, like you should count playoffs as your games played, in my opinion, right? Like, what's like you're playing a game, not preseason games, but playoff games. So what if it doesn't add up because the team doesn't? So what? Those are games, man. Tie them all together.
Listen to his last 7 seasons. He had 85 points in 74 games, 100 points, 128 points, 85 points in 68 games, 69 points in 47 games, 113 points last year. And now he's got 40 and 25.
He's awesome.
This dude.
He's awesome. He's a Hall of Famer, man.
Give me some Cooch.
How's Ovi doing?
Dude, I was just thinking about
what
him.
is he doing, man?
Because
you know he's our boy,
I hate to say it right now,
he's our boy,
but
dude.
He's not going to catch a Gretzky.
You don't think so?
Not now.
Damn it, man. That sucks.
And now he's the type of guy come back next year and score 28 goals, though. You know? Maybe. But, if he... Let's see. Right now, he's got 5 goals in 21 games. So he's on pace for 20 goals.
I know. That sucks. And he's not getting... And they're still winning. Like, they're not passing him on a power play. They give it to Tom Wilson in the slot, and he's scoring goals.
Here's my question. I know.
And she's hurt.
Because as he gets now, even into next year and the year after, and you're the Washington Capitals, and you're the head coach, you're the general manager, when does it get to a point where he's not automatically on the number 1 power play unit? And he's not your best option on the power play, where you just keep throwing him out there. Like, you got to win games and whatever.
He's still a distraction.
I don't know if
How's their power play this year without him scoring?
I don't know if he will ever be like a major distraction just because he's been with that team his entire career.
No. A distraction on a power play.
I understand. Like, yeah, if you're not putting him out there, he's a distraction.
Like somebody's guarding him, and then all of a sudden Willy's in front with the 1T. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. A distraction meaning like, give me the one-timer. No, give it to Willy in front because everybody's looking at Ovi.
There's another word for that.
What is
I'm trying to think of.
Well, you didn't think of it, so therefore it doesn't matter.
Trying to think of what the other word, not a distraction, but trying to create that confusion. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay,
but the power play.
Figure it out.
For the Washington Capitals.
Where are they at?
They are last in the league, dude.
All right. No, even more than the Blues?
Last. Below the Blues.
Wow.
The Blues are second to last.
At what,
dude,
10%?
The Penguins are just above the Blues. The Blues are at 10%. Pittsburgh at 10.9%. As of now, Pittsburgh hasn't had a power play, 0 for the last 25.
That sucks, dude.
You could put all these superstars on the ice at the same time. It's
gotta
just
move the puck around, baby.
Well, no, they move it around too much sometimes.
Oh, well, then you got to move it to the net. But Crosby's dominating, dude. Good to see that.
And so is Gensel.
Yeah, Jakey boy.
I take that Jakey Gensel. Man.
He just does shit, dude, and he does shit in the playoffs too. Like,
doesn't even talk.
Doesn't talk. Like, I like that.
Like,
He's
never.
Just like, hi,
what
I'm
is
Jake.
Jake Gensel? Who is he? What's he all about?
He's just a fucking player.
We gotta get his ass on.
Good call on that, dude. I like him.
Who are you?
Yeah, he's just like I am Jake. I got curly hair. I'm just like da da da.
He looks like he's like in like
looks like a child.
in Aspen, Colorado, on like a ski trip or something.
Yeah.
He's got that.
But he's just like, I know how to score goals. Like
His dad's a coach,
I'm good in the playoffs.
Mike Gensel, coached at University of Minnesota for a long time.
Really?
He comes from that hockey family, dude. He's got it in his blood. But the Washington Capitals, 8.3%.
Ain't good.
Bottom of the barrel.
That ain't good.
Man.
The two biggest, okay. Remember at the beginning of the year, Andy and I talk about different teams and who should be okay. And we brought up Buffalo and we brought up Ottawa. And they just ain't goddamn doing it. They just ain't doing it.
What did I say?
Well, you picked one of those that they're going to be okay.
But I said it won't be Buffalo.
You said it was in Ottawa, and they're not doing it.
Well,
so you're still wrong.
I'm still wrong, but
they both haven't done shit. And DJ Smith is holding on by a thread.
What did I say about Devin Levi and all that? I was like, dude, like these young goalies, man. I was like, you can't.
Yeah, but
you never know how they're going to play one year to the next. Now he's down in the minors, man. People got too excited. What did I say? I said at the end of the day, they're still Buffalo.
But you're Buffalo until you're not,
Correct.
And then when
so they got to show me. Like I can't just like all of a sudden say that they're going to be this.
I know
when they've never been that. I know they missed the playoffs by just 1 point last year, but let's get to the playoffs and then we can start talking about Buffalo being like,
So all y'all Buffalo fans, man, like we're rooting for you guys, man.
Yes,
like seriously,
that's my hometown.
You guys,
dude.
we know.
Okay,
and
that's where I'm from.
You guys love hockey up there. Your TV ratings are always on par. Like, you fucking kill everybody. You love hockey. You guys are hardworking sons of bitches. Blue collar, baby. Although Andy and his little nerd friends don't like me saying that. But you're blue collar up there. We love you. And you guys have had a shit product for such a long time. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable now.
They're the
you
bottom
gotta figure
teams
it out.
In the Atlantic, right?
Figure it out. These fans deserve so much better, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They do. And Ottawa, you too.
Oh, shit.
All those fans up there spending all that fucking Canadian hardcore money to watch them. Now, watching Brady Kachuk is fun, dude.
Yeah.
Now, Timmy Stutzel is diving here and there. He got chirped a little bit.
Yeah, he plays a lot.
He jumped on somebody. Kind of was a weird play the other day. Mm-hmm. He's getting chirped for diving, but they're not winning games. DJ Smith, who's a cool cat, man, who we love, friend of the show, he's holding on by a thread. Brady's starting to lose his mind a little bit. They need to figure it out as well. Mm-hmm. I want one of those teams
to be. Who do you
be,
hire?
I don't know.
Who you bringing in?
Quenneville.
Hey, who's got the balls to hire?
I dare you. Who's got the balls to hire
one
of the best coaches in the world
Give
ever?
me an owner out there who's got the balls that's going to call Gary Bettman and say, Gary, you're not stopping me. I'm hiring Joe Quenneville.
There it is, Andy. That's the attitude.
So you know what? You better make this happen right now, or we're going to have some serious problems because I'm hiring Joe Quenneville. Now, if Joel,
were you thinking that when you asked me?
Yeah, but let me say this about Joel. I told this to somebody the other day. Just because Joel has been like exiled, and obviously he's on the outside looking in, and he probably I know he wants to coach.
Yeah.
He still, at the end of the day, is one of the greatest coaches of all time, and should not just jump at any job. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if I'm Joel right now, money's not a consideration. Sure, your legacy and all that. I don't know if I just let me in and then let a good team hire me.
Nah, you jump in on what's available.
No,
and here's why: because coaches want to coach, dude.
I understand.
No, they want to. You think he's fucking toiling? He's fucking losing his mind right now, probably. He's probably evaluating every single fucking team he watches. He's probably sitting in the basement. The wife's like, "What are you doing?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "I can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop." Whatever, dude. He's watching hockey, dude, and he can't get away. You can't just go from everything hockey, everything, and then I'm done. I'm going to do this. No, dude.
Typically, when you take over a team, it's not a great team, right?
Exactly.
Usually it's a bad team.
You think Vegas is going to get?
No, but you want to be, and maybe Ottawa falls in that category.
It does.
You know?
He's the one holding on by a thread. So you're telling me that if you're Joel Quenneville and he gets the A-OK, he's going to be like, I'm going to wait a little bit. No, get on that. Get on that.
I think if
you got Brady,
I think if the league notifies now, hold on. First off, if the league notifies the team, all teams, that Joel Quenneville has been reinstated, I think he'd have more than just like one option. And then maybe he can weigh his options. maybe wait until the beginning of next season, come in fresh, have a training camp, all that, you know?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I would say like you can't be picky and choosy, man. I say get on something and
Yeah.
improve yourself. He could turn that team around, dude. They're loaded. They're fucking pretty damn
I don't
good.
think they are.
I think
Who,
Ottawa?
Ottawa?
I think
Dude,
they're okay.
The more I watch them, the more you realize they have they have some players, man, but they are not as good as people make them out
What about
to be.
if Lenny Ruff starts getting on the hot seat?
Well, there you go. See, that's a different situation.
But you think? Wait, you still have to have their ownership group say no. We
no,
will.
but that's what I mean.
But
That's
how
what I
many?
mean. If
I think a lot of people are soft when it comes to that. They think of Mike Babcock, just like we talked about last week, man. I think that if I'm Joe Quenneville, any opportunity pops up, like I'm boom. Now you're in it. Now you're in the mix.
Babcock was back at the Blues game the other day.
I saw that.
Oh, they showed him on TV. Oh, I didn't know I didn't know they showed him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude. Not that they showed him. People walking down the fucking
Getting autographs and shit.
No,
Oh.
they're filming him like there he is.
Oh, really?
Yes, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh yeah.
That
was a couple weeks ago.
At the rink.
That was a
I
couple
seen him
weeks
at the
ago.
rink. Yeah.
And no, they didn't.
No, this was at the last home game.
Bally's didn't show him. Not that I saw.
Okay, well then you just said they did. That's what I didn't think.
Fans in the concourse.
He was at the last game.
Okay, but they were filming him
Against
walking
Buffalo.
by.
When Ken Hitchcock and Pierre Turgeon were getting on it.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Cool. I'd get Hitch on again,
But,
by the way.
Okay,
if you want
so
to.
what I was going to say to you is could Joel Quenneville deal with being in a Canadian city? You think Ottawa's different than the other Canadian cities?
I say you get all the bullshit over with quick, meaning once you start initially sign with a team and you're there, you're going to get flooded by negative shit. And then once you start winning a couple games, it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Get that initial process done off the bat. You wait around, people are going to start tying more things together. Maybe another kid comes up, maybe something, like maybe you jam yourself up. I say fucking sign that ticket, get going on a team. Get out in the public and talk and like, no, here's Joel. Because right now people, they look at Joel and they're thinking just like negative shit. So like once you start getting in the public a little bit more, the players got your back. You know, you're speaking on your own terms.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy.
I just don't.
But yeah, he's going to get rocked for a bit no matter where he goes.
But I honestly
Arizona.
believe that if Joel Quenneville came out and did like a tell-all type interview and said, this is what went down.
There you go, Andy.
This is what happened. Obviously from his perspective, but tell us what you know.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he came out and gave his side of things, I think people maybe would have a different outlook of how they view him and his involvement in the entire situation.
Yeah.
In terms of how they look at it right now. I think if they hear him speak, have it come from him, have him answer real questions, right?
Yeah.
Real questions. Because I think the league, my guess is, Cam, that they basically said you're going to get paid the rest of your contract. I believe he's gotten paid. He was making like $6 million a year. So we got to double check when his contract is up.
Yeah.
Stan Bowman. These guys were probably told you can't talk.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
You're probably right, Andy.
You can't talk.
Yep.
So you can't talk. But now once that contract expires, when it's officially done, I think it would be in their best interest not to just stay quiet and just not saying anything. I mean, much different situation, but, you know, Dean Evanson, you know, like he does a story right off the bat. It was a good story. Mike Russo did the story.
Yep. Yeah.
And kind of told some, like, details and gave you, like, a good visualization of what went down. Now, his firing a much different situation than Joel's, but, like, he's like, yeah, I'm not looking to hide, whatever. I want to jump right back
Why
into
wouldn't
it.
you?
The best way to jump back into a job is to be visible. Let people see you. Let people hear from you. It's like you don't need to just like stay quiet.
That's
like
exactly what I said.
you know what I'm saying? We need to hear from him.
Meaning.
But
like,
my thing is, my guess is there's a reason why we haven't.
Yeah, probably because of contract stuff, no doubt.
You know, and if you got $6 million coming your way, and like you know, and the story was so large that probably didn't benefit him.
Yeah.
To come out and talk, he wasn't gonna. He was already guilty in the court of public opinion anyway. People probably didn't want to hear his side of things.
Yep.
But listen, NHL, he's done everything you've asked him to do. He's been like sitting on the sidelines I mean, from what I understand, he's taken like classes behind the scenes and stuff like that in terms of how to handle some of this stuff. They were really close.
Just fire the motherfucker.
I think they were close to letting him back in, and then the Babcock shit happened, and then this other lawsuit with the Blackhawks, and some of that other stuff has maybe like pushed it back, as we've said several times. But Joel Quenneville will coach again, but like it's going to get to a point, man. This can only go on so much longer. You can only keep him out so long and then expect him to come back in. If I'm an owner, it's like, do you ever get to a point where you second guess the situation? You say, wow, this guy's been a great coach for so long, but he's been out of the game now for 4 or 5 years. Do I want to hire a coach who hasn't coached in 5 years? If it gets to that point. Or is that like not even like something you'd consider?
It depends on who it is. And if you have one of the best coaches ever in hockey history, you roll
take
the
that
dice.
chance.
Yes, of course. I would.
Okay.
That's just me.
Yeah. Well, I would too.
But I have been watching
But you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's could eventually become something, part of the thought process.
No, I know.
But Jersey, man, that would be interesting if because Lindy's not going to coach forever anyway.
No, he's not. And they're not playing good, dude. They're not playing well at all. I don't know what their deal is.
Mm-hmm. But like it's teams like Vancouver, New Jersey. They're good teams, but in reality, they're going to have their ups and downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Vegas won the Stanley Cup last year, just the way they're built. They don't have Theodore right now, the defenseman. It's probably their best defenseman. So, they've had a little bit of inconsistency, but they've found ways to get their game back together.
Shit, the best 2 teams in the league are probably L.A. and New York now, dude.
I know.
L.A. doesn't lose, dude.
No. So like
no one's talking about
you just kind of build your way back into that caliber of team. But, Jersey, I thought they were really good, but I didn't think they were going to be able to sustain what they were showing early in the year. And same can probably be said for Vancouver. Like, as good as Vancouver is, like, I don't think Vancouver, in my opinion, is a legit, true threat to win the Stanley Cup. Like, they could.
Zadorov, I forgot about that. Whatever. I like that. I like that. I like that trade with
he matches the style of play that
playoff dude. He's
that their head coach
is
looking for.
Trouba-like.
Shit, he's not as good as Trouba, though.
No, he's not.
He's not a
but
great
he's not getting
defender.
paid like Trouba either. He's getting paid half the salary of Trouba. But he'll put you downtown.
He gets a lot of attention because he hits.
Yeah, we'll keep hitting.
He's a hitter. Yeah.
Because you know what? Like, if I'm playing against Zadorov, I'm like, fuck this.
Hey, and that's nothing against Vancouver. I'm just saying this year. But if they sustain this level of play throughout the course of the season, then like coming into next year, man, then all of a sudden you start like saying, hey, this is the time when they truly have to make their push. I don't think anyone came into this year thinking that this is going to have a team that's going to win a couple rounds in the playoffs. They could, man. They certainly could.
It depends on who they're playing. Like, but LA is like they're not fucking around.
But with Edmonton, even though Edmonton's playing better as of late, but with them having such a shit start and being where they are. Hey, this is your opportunity, L.A. and Vancouver. This is your chance, man. With Edmonton kind of like falling down, you got to keep them down, and this is their chance to truly make some noise.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I get it, man. I did. To be honest with you, I've been watching college football. Fucking weekends.
You just watching a bunch of college. I mean, you really watch full-on games like nonstop.
I started watching game day early. I'm making Bloody Mary or a mimosa. I get my mind right.
Women drink mimosas.
I got boo-boo laying on me. I got the puppies laying. I start a fire. I watch game day. Pat McAfee annoys the fuck out of me.
Really?
I know.
Controversial statement.
Sorry.
Because I was going to tell you need to take your cat and dog to the groomer, dude. They haven't been there. They need a bath, dude. You got to go give them a bath.
Pat McAfee, it's just, I don't know. And I know he's starting to like get Connor Bedard on and stuff like that. Like, I get that. I know he's better looking than me. I know he's a better athlete than me. I know he's taller than me. He's got better hairline.
Makes more money.
Makes way more money than me. Probably cooler than me.
Way more famous.
Smarter than me. Way more famous. Probably a better person as a whole. But he annoys me for some reason. He's out there. He's got the wife beater on.
Yeah.
His armpits are hanging out, and I'm like, ay. He looks like LL Cool J sometimes. I see fucking deodorant still stuck up there.
No,
I'm like,
you don't.
Yes, I do. And I'm like, ay. Then he's on College Game Day, and he starts chanting everybody like, "Burr, burr, burr." It's like all about him. He's just loud, and I know I'm loud too, so I'm annoying. I get all that, man. I'm just saying. But he drives me nuts a little bit. I don't know what it is.
And it's like, but it is the hockey way. Because, well, somebody who's famous and has a platform, they're talking about hockey. We just love this guy. This guy's the best. He's talking about hockey.
It's like the Kelsey brothers did the other day, too.
I know.
Like, thanks
it's
for
like,
throwing a bone.
it's like, it makes you look smaller.
Because you are.
I know. When you're
because you are.
Somebody famous talked about us. And it's like,
yeah.
and like you promote it. Like, oh, did you see the...
Unfortunately, hockey's only got Megan and fucking Harry going to games, and they're like, something happened. Yay! Look at cameras on us. Honey, the camera's on us.
So what do you think?
Harry's annoying.
So
Megan's even more annoying.
Pat McAfee has a big platform. He's got a very popular show. And he does dedicate some time to hockey. I'm sure that is ESPN related, trying to like,
Batman on.
Like, like if Pat McAfee is still doing a show.
Yeah.
On his own and not on ESPN, he ain't doing the hockey bit.
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Boom, baby. There you go.
He's not doing
100%.
like hockey is great or whatever
I like hockey. Like you're lying. You watch football and football only, dude.
But the producers and ESPN,
right, just say it real quick.
they're like, we need you to do a hockey.
But he just no big deal. And I don't mean to be he just kind of annoys me. And I said this on the radio today, and a lot of people are like, no, I get you, Cam. He's he's very too cool for school. And he gets a lot of attention, and maybe it's too much, and I'm just getting sick of it. That's all. He's better than me at everything. I get that.
You think he thinks he's too cool? Like he's not self-deprecating? Or
No, he doesn't make me laugh either. He's too big to not be that self-deprecating, in my opinion. Meaning you're getting so much, like you got to chirp yourself once in a while. Like
he's got AJ Hawk with him, who just kind of stares at the camera.
AJ Hawk doesn't do anything.
He just smokes cigs.
Pat?
His lungs have got to be shot.
What
dude.
Pat? I'm not chirping that. I'm chewing and fucking drinking. And,
Hey, but I like AJ. But he's cool. He just stares
big,
at
tough
the camera.
Yeah, but he doesn't say anything. Pat's up there like talking the whole time, and AJ's like, I got something. Nope. Can I? Nope. Just one thing. Nope. Smoke your cigar.
And who are all the other dudes that are hanging out?
They don't do anything.
I told you I wanted to. My vision for the Cam and Strick podcast is to create that type of studio effect. I'd like to have some people in here doing some shit.
Can I tell you what Andy likes? All y'all out there. Andy wishes he could sit here by himself and do a 3-hour podcast. If it was if it was up to Andy, he would be by himself. But he knows that he needs me to counter. And I need him. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think I can come in here and do. Andy wishes that he can come in here and just talk the whole time. You do. You do.
It's not true.
100%. If you could, you would. But it doesn't work that way, so you kind of need me. So therefore, it works out, I think.
Like a radio show I like doing by myself for 1 hour. I wouldn't want to do a 3-hour show by myself.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Andy would want to have me along, but I sit with Maddie and over there.
Can you go sit
all
over
the
there?
cameras are on, and then maybe Andy will be like, okay, Cam, what do you think? And how about this? Then Andy answers my question
No, here's
for me.
why he's saying that, because I told him, we went and met with this other company one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd like to like build like a desk, kind of like Jimmy Fallon, and Cam can be like the guy who like
serious.
who sits in the chair next to the desk.
Yeah.
And like nods and laughs and like gives his one-liners.
Andy's good. Andy, that was good. And agree.
And I was like, I
agree with it. I don't chirp him.
And the guy was dying laughing, and Cam
Andy
was so
says something
upset.
like, I agree, Andy. Like some radio
and
hosts.
I was joking.
We know some radio hosts too. Like, we'll talk for 3 hours, and they'll have a little sidekick
who just agrees the whole time.
Agrees
with everything.
No matter. Yep.
They can say it's snowing outside.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Agree. Andy would like that. So maybe I'm wrong. Andy still wants me. But he wants me in there hidden. Yeah. And then I'm only speaking until I'm spoken to.
This segment, we're going to ask Cam a couple things. Cam, how were you this weekend? Was everything good this weekend?
Man, I drank a lot.
Yeah.
I mean.
Okay, no, you're done. All right.
Exactly.
Appreciate
That's
it.
it. Thanks, Cam.
Appreciate it, Cam.
Exactly.
Thanks
Cam, what do you think of this? Well, let me tell you. Well, no. I'll explain
Let's
for you.
ask our intern, Cam.
Yeah, ask me a question, I'll answer it, and then you start answering it. Ready, go.
Yeah.
Ask me something.
Yeah, okay. Well, how you doing, Cam?
Well, let me tell you, Andy, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, we're done with
That's it.
Now you're ruining the show. The ratings are going.
That's what you want. It's all good.
But I want to have like 6 of you.
Yeah, 6 minions.
It's kind of like Dan Patrick has a show like that. Pat McAfee has a show like that. So maybe we'll start taking some auditions, man.
It just kind of annoys me.
There's a lot of cool people out there who listen to the show that would probably have a great impact on our show.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. We need more cameras on. Let me hide. I'll hide and you talk more.
No, we don't want that.
No, we got a good thing going, baby. We got a good thing going, man. We're doing our thing. But all you guys, by the way,
tell the people that you're not being serious.
No.
Say that.
No, I'm not going to say, dude, you 100% want me back there with Maddie. Like, I know that for a fact. It just doesn't work that way.
When I just bounce things off of you.
Yeah, but
That's
I don't
not
even
true.
answer, and you answer for me. You know what I mean? Like, you'll ask me the question and answer it.
That's not true.
It's all good. Who cares? It's all good. But I want to say, all you guys listening right now, we are on YouTube. I'm very brown today.
Dude, please.
I might be too brown.
Maybe don't even watch this episode.
No.
Okay.
Watch and then look at me and be like,
Cam, scarf.
We should start evaluating both of our outfits because I just got a bunch of new clothes.
Yeah.
Kate bought me all kinds of shit, even before Christmas, because if you really do...
You've told me like 20 times.
Because I'm excited.
Yeah,
I got new shoes. I got like normal brand stuff. She got me a bunch of all kinds of new stuff. I got new hats coming in and stuff like that too. So she just wants me to look decent. But you guys can, all y'all out there, you go on our YouTube and check Andy and I and evaluate us. Evaluate our looks. And just tell us, like, Cam, that doesn't work. You got a zit on your fucking forehead.
You
I don't
work
give a
for
shit.
UPS.
Yeah, I know. Is it too brown?
You're driving around on that truck.
Because Andy does dress nice. He totally does. But if you guys go on YouTube and subscribe to the just type in Cam and Strick podcast on YouTube and subscribe, dude.
Please
that helps
subscribe.
Yeah, and then you can watch us.
Buy some First Form stuff too, man, by
Yeah.
using our link firstform.com/Cam
Damn right.
and Strick. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. I'm thinking about working out there this week.
I'm sure they'll love that.
I said that on our meeting. We had a meeting with them, and I was talking about coming in and working out. And like, you mean Cam hadn't said anything in like 15 minutes in the meeting.
Well, you were talking the whole
because
fucking
I
time.
hadn't told him he could talk. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
So he hadn't, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you mean you want to go in there and talk?
Yeah, because that's what Andy does.
Not work out. He just wants to go in there and have conversation."
We had Kyle Wellwood on, by the way.
Oh yeah. Dude, I wish I could show.
He's
this.
fucking awesome. I played with him in juniors, and we were wild together, dude. Like, again, I told you guys, man. Like, when we were playing in Windsor, dude, we didn't really, like, we kind of did what we wanted, and I never told a story, but I got in trouble in juniors one time. I forgot. I was pretty squeaky clean, although I was doing crazy things. Never got caught with anything. But one time, and this was the year I was with Welly, we were in
the year you had one goal in 50 games, which I was not happy to see those stats the other day.
Well, you
had over 200 minutes in penalties, but you had 11 goals the next year. So offensively, you just had a down year.
It was a bad year, and I had a meeting with Lou Lamoriello because after my first year, they signed me to a couple $100,000, $250,000 or whatever, and I got that money right away, right when I turned 18, right when I got drafted. Got that money, and I'm fucking rich. Bought a huge Suburban, fucking gave my parents this, get $50,000 increments of that, man. You get 50 G's, so it's like 36 grand in your pocket. At that age, coming from fucking, the blue collar part of Eureka, sorry, like you're fucking rich,
The Hoosier part?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I'm taking care of all the guys on the team and shit like that. I'm in my own world, man. So one time, and I was not having a good year, but I was beating everybody up too. So I was still the heavyweight champ. It's fine. But I remember being in Sault Ste. Marie one time, and they had the Booster Club come with us, and they are following the same bus. And I'm in a room at 18 years old with Kyle Redeker, who was a young 16-year-old kid, first round, and he was my roommate. I get a bunch of cigars, find a bunch of booze, bring it into my room, keep the door open, and I had all the super fans partying in my room with a 16-year-old kid partying, smoking cigars in the hotel in Sault Ste. Marie like a fucking moron. Mike Kelly, our GM, walks by and hears us and opens the door and goes, "Are you fucking out of your mind?" Everybody disperses, gets out. Me and a 16-year-old, he goes, suspends me for a game, that game.
Oh, he did.
And everybody's like, "What happened?" I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. But they had me go on the play-by-play to do the play-by-play,
color commentary,
for the Sault Ste. Marie game while I'm suspended for partying. It was the weirdest thing ever. No one really even knew about it, but that was the only time I got jammed up and got suspended for a game.
So what did Lou tell you?
Lou?
Because you weren't scoring.
He was not happy.
Because I told Cam the other day, I could have played 50 games and had one goal.
No, you couldn't.
It would hit me in the ass. It would hit me in the ass. It would hit me in the knee.
That's a guy that never played. That's their comment.
That's
these guys in radio
knee.
and in TV. They're all the same. They're all the same. I played lacrosse back when in
all
high
y'all
school.
listening out there,
You couldn't do shit.
You would have had 50 games. You would have had one puck would have hit you off the ass.
Hal O'Reilly, I give him a little shout out. Ryan's brother.
So what did Lou say to you?
Lou goes, "What are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
I go, "Hey Lou, what's going on? Are you trying to be the champ? Are you trying to be the heavyweight champ again? What did I tell you about that? You need to play the game. Everybody knows how tough you are. You don't need to buckets off with all the fucking heavies. You're fucking different. You're signed.
He's going to be listening to this.
Yeah, I know. You're signed. You're drafted. Go play the fucking game.
Okay.
Go play the game. I'm trying to buckets off every night. Fucking spinning, taking my shit off like a psycho. Not even thinking about, I'm getting suspended or hitting guys weird and stuff like that. It was a fucked up year for me. Lou called me, talked to me, dude. The next year was completely different. Because that summer, Andy, I had money. And I came home, and that was the first time, like, my buddies are living with their parents, and I'm like, I came home, and we partied. Not that I didn't work out.
You didn't train and stuff?
I trained my ass off, but my head wasn't there, dude. I'm, like, going, like, every game in juniors my second year, who's Cam Biden? Like, it was, like, such a built-up thing, dude. I got lost, man. I didn't play. I got lost of being the heavyweight champ again, and it fucked me.
You thought fighting was like playing?
No, it was more like...
You thought like that was your way of like having a good game or contributing or having an impact?
No.
Certainly your way of getting attention.
No, you don't know, so just don't explain it. It's more like
try and find different things.
When you were an alpha dog, when you're a fucking alpha male, unlike Andy. Like I'm an alpha fucking male, dude. And the guy wanted to challenge me. I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm buckets off with you, and I'm gonna prove to you. It just I was so distracted. All my fault, dude. No one else. Just my fault. I had a little bit of money. This was too much, and I had a bad year. Then I talked to Lou, figured it out. But when I went to training camp for the Devils, dude, I was great. Like I had a great training camp and stuff like that. So even though I didn't have a good year, like my training camp was awesome with them.
Okay, good.
So I mean, it worked out, Andy.
Yeah,
I made the team like the next year.
You probably elbow some guys in the head or along the glass.
I heard a couple dudes in training camp.
Very dirty.
Fuck them, dude. These fucking Russian kids that were drafted before me in 2002, they were so cocky. They were so cocky. I wanted to fucking kill one of them that I was in a hotel with. Ivan Kuvanov, that ugly motherfucker with a goddamn mullet, with white tidy whities with shit stains. And he'd fucking turn up the heat in the hotel room to like 80 degrees. And he'd piss over the toilet seat. He was disgusting. So I'm like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. I'm going to kill him. My dad's like, don't do it. Do it on the ice. And so
you elbowed him in the head?
I caught him so hard, dude.
Oh, my
God. Know. Not good. And another Russian kid, Anton Kadekin. I'll give you a little shout out. I fucked him up, too. He got drafted in front of me. They're buying all these nice things. They're doing all this stuff. They're acting like they're too cool for school.
Did they ever play?
Never. Not even close.
Hey, did you see Sergey Brylin get that recognition?
Yeah,
from
Sarge.
The New Jersey Devils,
yep, they're gonna
where he's going to be on the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, man, they should. Sarge has 3 Stanley Cups. Sergey Brylin.
There's not that many guys who played on all 3 Stanley Cup winning teams, right?
Yeah, Ken Danico, Scotty, Marty, Sarge. Not too many other. I think that's it.
Really?
I think that's it. Sergey Brylin, a little shout out. He was very intimidating when I played with him because he'd roll his eyes at me. I was a little.
Oh, he would?
Oh, yeah.
So you could see him being a coach now or whatever.
Yes. He'd take me aside and be like, you can't do that. This, that, Sarge. But he was my coach in Albany, and he was fucking.
We got to get him on.
I love him, dude. Yeah. Sergey Brylin.
Man of very few words.
Dude, he did everything right. And I'd watch Sergey Brylin. He wore tighty-whities, too. No big deal. It's all good. It's all good. But he had this walking.
Was he your roommate?
No, he had his own room.
Oh.
Even at that, he had 600 games, way more. So he had his own room, which is the stupidest thing in the world. You have 600 games. Guy's making $10 million. You have to share a room. Sergey Brylin would do this walking warm up, like whoop bop, whoop bop, whoop bop, whoop bop. And I'm like, what is he doing? Like,
what's ready for the game?
No, he's getting ready. And I'm like, I'm going to do the same thing. So I started doing exactly what Sergey Brylin did.
So he's
I'd
good,
follow
good
every fucking thing he did.
You.
It helped me out, helped my fucking stretching, dude. Sarge, love you, homeboy. You were hard on me, and I'm glad you were.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll give him a shout out.
I just did.
Kyle Wellwood. It's funny because I hear these stories and whatever, and he's like the most calm, unassuming hockey player we have ever interviewed.
Yeah, he was great.
Doesn't look like a hockey player.
No.
Doesn't talk like a hockey player.
Like you.
No.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
You guys look alike.
No, really.
And all y'all out there, when you look at Andy and then look at Kyle. They look like brothers. It's all good.
We could be, maybe.
No, seriously.
But like, people rave about him as a teammate, dude.
He's fun.
People are like, this guy was like, they laugh when I bring up his name. They laugh.
Yeah.
They smile, and everyone has like a story about him. Like he's one of those guys. It sounds like he's just, but he just. So that night, dude, we do the interview. He talks about in the interview how he's watching a lot of like cooking shows on YouTube. He loves to cook.
Yeah, so do I.
So he sends me this picture that night, dude, of him just cooking.
He's a good dude,
He's
man.
just cooking.
His hair looks the same.
And it's like, he doesn't really say anything. He just sends me the picture, like, and this is the one thing I love about doing this podcast is sometimes, like a guy like Kyle Wellwood, who I have never really met, you do an interview with him, like automatically you kind of have that connection.
Yeah.
We do these, these guys feel comfortable. We do these we have these conversations. You stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when Todd Bertuzzi gets in trouble after doing the interview with us, man, you reach out.
Oh, I call him, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
Milan Lucic, man, he's been a big supporter of the podcast. Tom Wilson, all these guys, man. Like, you just, without really knowing them before you do the interview, man, you just kind of create that relationship.
I think they're comfortable around us, too, man. They understand.
So he's sending me cooking pictures, dude.
He actually eats probably meat, You know what I mean?
Funny, dude. I'm like, what is? I'm like, are you watching YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, he sent you a picture. It's all good.
Just like cooking pasta.
Yeah. He's cool, man. He's in Vancouver doing his shit.
I told the story a little bit. Maybe I don't know if I said it during the interview or not. Like when my wife was in labor, and I remember getting a text saying that Kyle Wellwood was at the game, and reporting that Kyle Wellwood was signing with the Blues. When I was at the hospital, it was just kind of crazy. And then he was on the ice, and then they pulled him off the ice, and he got claimed on waivers by San Jose. So he never even got to play here, I think he would have been a good fit here. Would have been interesting.
What year?
2011. So it was like 2010, 2011.
I would have been on that team, yeah. Nice. That would have been fun.
2010, 2011.
Yeah. That would have been nice.
Holiday party season is in full effect. I like going to Christmas parties.
Anytime Andy could dress up in the suit, he wants to go. You know what I mean?
It's not a suit.
I just turn down shit like that.
I wore a sport coat with, but my wife.
We get to dress up. Let's go.
My wife had a red dress on.
She looked good. Damn good.
I mean,
really pretty.
She got mad at me for posting that picture.
Why? She looked great. No. That was a good picture. She looked beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Show your fucking wife off.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
She didn't like me showing that.
She
wanted me to show other ones.
If Chloe's in a dress like that, it's like, don't post that.
So Chloe.
Don't post that.
So Cam, listen, my daughter got invited to a bar mitzvah over the weekend, and my wife put some pictures of all her friends, and my wife and I were invited too. The parents are super cool, man. The dad played football at Indiana back in the day. Wife is like very cool. I was calling her Taylor Swift. She looked like Taylor Swift that night. And it was kind of eye-opening because, like, even having a daughter now who's like 12 years old, they don't get dressed up every day when they're going to school. They wear their yoga pants and their hoodies and whatever, And now you see them all get dressed up. I mean, girls, they don't necessarily dress the same way they did when you and I were
Jesus. In the 90s, man.
So Cam's like making such a big deal out of it. He's like, he can't even look at a picture.
Well, Andy shows me pictures of young girls.
Yeah, don't show me that.
Well, don't. I don't want to see 12-year-old girls in tight skirts that are tight. Like, I don't want to see it. But Andy's like, look at my daughter. I'm like, I see it. Now, your wife is a different story. That looked beautiful, and I gave her a like on that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
Yes, I did.
I don't think you did because I posted.
Well, I'm gonna go look that back up.
Go look that back.
But
up.
when it comes to your 12-year-old daughter, no, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean?
It's not like that.
It's different.
I don't even look at it that way.
Well, okay, then I do because I'm not used to it. So I'm like, oh Jesus. He's like, look at my kid.
Cam's got like cat hair all over him, sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube. He's like, hey, I gotta take you out a little bit,
No, I don't need to go out. Where? To one of your bar mitzvahs? Like, are you fucking nuts?
Dude,
you couldn't pay me to go
I had
on those
not been to
things.
one in a long time.
A bar mitzvah?
And they're like weddings, dude.
Yeah, I mean, don't even try to invite me to one of those because I ain't going. I don't like going to weddings either. Just so you guys know, like, I know it's like I'm old enough now. Like
You don't like going to weddings?
I love weddings.
I love weddings.
No,
invite me to a wedding.
Yeah, and you'll go anywhere. Anywhere you could dress up. He's gonna go.
I give very good wedding speeches actually.
I bet he probably talks about yourself. He's probably like, I interviewed Babcock one time. No, it's about the way. No, I interviewed Hitchcock. This one. Let me tell you about Hitch. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about Hitch. They're like, what? You know, it's all good, man.
Do I need to put you back there with Maddie?
Matt, you got room back there? He doesn't want me here anymore. Is that cool? Thanks. All right. Maddie's my boy, dude.
We'll go to you.
We're gonna be playing GTA fucking 6, baby. When's that coming out?
Hey,
GTA 6. All y'all out there.
You haven't even set up your stupid little system.
It takes 2 seconds. I plug it in.
So
I got
you
all
take
my
it out of the box. I'm buying it from you for
No,
Christmas.
you're not.
Yeah.
That's mine.
No, I'm buying
Me
it.
and Maddie's. It's
No,
my boy.
Maddie,
GTA 6.
did you play the new Fortnite that just came out?
What does he look like? A
What-
child to you?
Why is Fortnite?
We play hard. Yeah, that's for children. We play hardcore. Yes, we play hardcore shit.
Grand Theft Auto.
6 is going to be the most unbelievable fuck game you'll ever see in your life. GTA 6, baby. I'm going to be beating up hookers. I'm going to be throwing people off buildings. I'll be robbing fucking everything. I'm going to be wrecking shit. I'm going to get 5 stars on the police, and I'm going to get away because I'm going to go in the tunnel and get on the train. Right, Maddie? You know what's up.
This is a video game that I've been playing.
Oh, God.
All
right, let's go. We're 2 hours in. Let's go.
No, it's like a hockey video game. I downloaded it for Ty. He plays it on my phone. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how it works a little bit.
No one cares.
It's kind of like GTA.
No, it's not.
But look, see.
Yeah, it's a hockey game.
Yeah. So it's
a hockey game.
This is oh, look at him. Look at that guy.
He looks stupid. That looks stupid.
So it's a game, and it's free on your iPhone. It's called Hockey All Stars. Man, my kid likes to play it. But it's got great graphics, and so we can play that too.
No, man, I play hardcore
headset
shit,
on.
baby. I'm gonna play
You don't
Elden
play
Ring.
shit. You're like a pretender, dude.
What are you talking about?
Like I used to call you like a poser back in the day. Like you don't play any video game. It's in a box, dude.
I brought Affliction to St. Louis.
Affliction.
Shit. I left fucking go back to Jersey. The goddamn fucking Harry's goes down. Ours crumbled when I left. Just so all y'all know, crumbled. Drug dealers went out of business. All kinds of shit happened.
Oh, we're in the middle of the play here.
There's Andy right there. Good God. Look how fucking terrible that looks. That's funny, man.
Look at that.
Maddie's like, what the
Maddie's
fuck,
laughing back there.
Playing Elden Ring, dude.
Maddie knows. Maddie's like, I want to play that. I want to play that too.
But we got first form right here, though. Let's go.
Kyle Wellwood, though, great conversation. It started off like a
good.
little slow, but then we got into the flow.
He's a quiet guy, you know.
I just cannot see it.
No,
hilarious stories.
Sometimes you got to be in the locker room and play with guys to understand their personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they look at you and the media different. They act to you guys differently than they do in the locker room for the most part.
Don't lump me in. With
What are you, a player?
Different people. No.
So what are you talking about?
But like, you can get to know people. You know,
you're still like a step away from being the guy in the locker room hanging out on the road with the guys and stuff.
It's never the same.
Yeah,
no matter who you are.
Just admit that. You're close with a lot of guys, but you're still in that.
It's
you
different.
know,
but I will see. I do see some in social settings and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, because you go everywhere.
I can turn off the media, and I don't have my media hat on at all.
Yeah, but it's hard for them to turn it off though. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Until they really get to know you. If you're a media
that's the
guy,
best part. You can really get to know certain.
Yeah. No, and you do. Yeah. You do a good job of that. Yeah. You do. I'll give you that 100%.
Got to know you when you were a player.
Yeah, but I didn't look at you like you still didn't know everything about me until we started.
Cam tried to I remember one time going to talk to Cam. He was like, "Oh, we really got a 2-on-2 forecheck going right now," and I'm like, "Okay, that's not."
No, he's chirping the player, talking about the fucking system.
Cam's breaking down the forecheck.
Well, I had to go do the forecheck.
You did.
Like you watching it. You're bird watching in the locker room, and then you're watching us from a fucking far, and then you're chirping me for like doing it. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? If I'm telling you the guy should have toe dragged a guy and kicked it wide on the power play.
Dare them ask,
Connor
Bedard about what happened.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking man, dude. He needs to tell people to go fuck themselves.
That's what he should have said.
He said, "Hey, all you all out there, Spencer, go fuck yourself."
Yeah, anybody who retweeted,
there you go.
Anybody who retweeted, who liked, who promoted this bullshit rumor.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. All you, go fuck yourself. Absolutely.
Why didn't you come out and say that?
I had like legit people still texting me days after, like, dude, Cam, are you sure? I go, are you
even
fucking
now
nuts?
At the rink, they're like, oh, people who don't really follow it all that closely, they're just like, hey, did he really do that? I'm like, no. It's been like debunked for several days now, but they don't even know.
I know.
See, in our society, man, especially on Twitter, Cam, and go ahead back there. You're done. You're
Maddie, I'll stand. It's all good. I'll stand, man.
So listen, all it takes is for someone to read the rumor once, and they just automatically assume it's true. They never even whatever. But how do you not, as a media person, especially the Canadian media, man, this was such a big story. He's talking for the first time, outside of maybe the first time he talked in Chicago, where they didn't ask one thing about it. And anyone who watched that media clip with the first time he addressed the media in Chicago, everyone was waiting for him to be asked about it, and he didn't get asked about it. That was even more weird.
Yeah.
But you can do it in a respectful, kind way, the Canadian way. And I don't.
What do you have to say to the people that started this horrible rumor about Corey Perry and your mom?
Yeah. What do you have to say to that person?
What do you have to say to that person?
He'd be like, I don't know. It doesn't really. I mean, there's nothing I really can say.
No, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. How can you possibly believe that?
I hope something bad happens to you.
Yeah, well, you don't have to say that.
I know you just can't say.
You don't have to say, I hope you die.
No, I would never say that.
But you might think that way.
You might.
I hope.
But I'd be like, man.
I feel bad for my mom and my dad
who
who support me, who love each other, who are in a healthy relationship. So fuck all you.
Can I just look at it from a different perspective, though? I never once thought. I always knew this was a joke.
Never once even thought
Didn't everyone know it was a joke?
No, because you want to believe it. You want that to happen.
I did not want to
not us.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen. That's god awful.
That's why I tweeted. I feel bad for.
I know you did.
I put out a statement before the Blackhawks did.
I stuck up for you on Twitter too, and I don't do it much.
What do you mean?
Well, somebody's like, "You're sticking up for Corey Perry," and somebody chimed in.
I didn't even stick up for him. I just gave a statement.
I know, and that's why I go, fucking calm down, and I don't even get on that because Andy's a big boy. He can stick up for himself unless I need to jump in, and I calmed that situation down, and he deleted it. And
the guy did.
Yeah, the guy did.
I didn't really even see what.
No, he deleted it because I had the Army are texting me like, "Let me get him, Cam." I go, "Don't." I'll settle this. Calm down. And he's like, "Okay, my bad, Cam." Blah 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 blah. Message me, and he deleted it.
He messaged you?
Yes, and he deleted it.
Privately?
Yes.
You should have posted it.
No.
You post private messages.
Andy, I don't do that. I don't do that.
We talked about it last episode.
I'm not. I just don't. You don't. That's a private message, dude.
What do you have on your neck right there?
What is it?
It's something right. Yeah, right there.
Probably a fucking heater. God, I got one on my forehead too.
All right, First Form and firstform.com. Let's get to Kyle Wellwood. Welly,
great guy.
I love how he said his 12-year-old son was watching hockey. And he's like, God, and he's asking. He doesn't even know the rules.
Yeah,
I felt bad. Hey,
he's not into hockey. Yeah,
I know.
It's just Andy. Not everybody's into hockey.
I know.
In your little world, everybody's hockey, everything. It's not the case.
He felt bad.
We're in St. Louis.
I hadn't taught my son hockey yet.
The kid's probably going to be a financial dude anyway.
Probably.
Welly's smart, man.
Well, very smart.
He's a very smart. His daddy was an engineer too. His dad was an engineer.
Speaking of hockey dads, real quick, did you see when I was interviewing Ed Neighbors, Jake Neighbors' dad, and Jake scored?
Yeah.
All right, tell the story. What happened?
Andy's interviewing a dad, and during the game, which is stupid.
Oh, come on.
No, it's not your fault. But it's during the game, and they did Turgeon that night. They had Hitch, so the game's going on for minutes at a time, and goals are going on, and Turgey's still talking. So you had.
I didn't interview Turgeon.
No, you were fine.
I interviewed.
I'm
Hitch.
not chirping you.
No one
Calm
scored.
down.
And you know what? This has never happened to me.
You asked me, and I'm telling him, and you can't let me talk.
All right, go ahead.
Andy did a damn good job. He always does a damn good job. And listen, Bally's, I love you, but you need stuff like that because I look at your Facebook account, stuff like that. You don't get too many big hits. Andy, the last 2 weeks have gotten more hits than anybody has in years. So you're doing
Well,
the other one with the neck guard, that blew up, and they don't have many things that blow up, and you're the one that.
Well, this was coincidence. It wasn't anything I did.
No, yeah, but you were still there at the right time, and you played it great. So Andy's interviewing Jakey Neighbors' daddy, and Jake goes out there. He's having a hell of a game, and he goes out there and scores a goal. And Andy's not looking at Jumbotron, and he's interviewing. All of a sudden, they hear, and Neighbors' dad's like, "I think my son just scored."
Because he saw how he celebrated.
And Andy had to turn around, look at the Jumbotron, figure it all together. Now he's got producers yelling in his ear. Andy's trying to ask a follow-up question. You did a good job on that, and you look good too. So that blew up. That was pretty cool. Good timing. Jakey Neighbors, a little shout out. Eddie Neighbors, a little shout out. And I'm going to give you a shout out. You did a damn good job.
Jakey Neighbors, man, he had a stretch there where he had 7 goals in 7 games.
He did a good job.
Start to take notice of this kid.
Yeah. I like him a lot, man. He goes hard, dude.
He does.
He goes fucking in
But
there,
you know
dude.
what? And he's a former first-round pick.
Yeah.
Hockey Canada, people up there. He played in the Dub, obviously, and so I'm sure a number of hockey fans know who he is. But he's scoring goals in all different ways too. I'll give Jake a shout out, man. He's scoring goals on breakaways. He's getting deflections and rebounds in front. Yoink. God, my co-host is just.
Why do you have to?
My sidekick is just really.
Your sidekick creates a lot of content.
So anyway, you're stealing from me again.
What did I steal from you? What have you created? No, seriously though. Like, what have you? Hey, what is your shtick?
Hey,
like,
can I talk about? I'm breaking. I'm analyzing. I'm breaking down Jake Neighbors. So he's scoring on breakaways. He's scoring with net front deflections and rebounds. He's scoring one-timers. He's scoring fast break goals like he did against LA, where he's like got a guy behind him and just snaps it.
Dirty goals. Yep.
High blocker.
Jakey Neighbors.
Breakaway goals.
I like him a lot, man.
What do you think when broadcasters say dirty areas? I've been hearing that a lot. Go to the dirty areas.
What'd they say at the Racket Club? What'd they say? Here's what I don't. I gotta about. Like, they're all like,
does
they're
that
so
bother
fucking
you
nerdy.
when they say?
They go to Andy and they're like, we need to talk about something. Okay, and they like this, that, and the other, and you're like, what?
They
like,
go to the dirty areas.
Dirty areas. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to get in there. You know the area that you never reached in Nashville?
I was willing to go to
the non-dirty areas are in a neutral zone where Andy kind of just lingered around and did figure eights, But the dirty areas are like getting away from Josh Manson, getting in between Truba.
Did you play?
Getting in between fucking Zadorov.
Did you ever play in the dirty areas?
No, I stay in a neutral zone. What's wrong with you? Andy thinks that I'm a fucking. Andy thinks
That's
that
not
honestly,
true.
He thinks I played field hockey. No, he does. No, he
you
thinks
never understand the rules.
He thinks I played field hockey.
They blow the whistle
in
every
high
2
school.
seconds.
Andy thinks my career
at an all-girls school.
Andy thinks my career was his hockey career, and he thinks my hockey career it was his hockey career. That's how he thinks. It's unbelievable. Because Andy will be like, "Well, you weren't that good because I interviewed Braden Shin, and Braden Shin's better than you." So I'm like,
I didn't say that.
No, but that's how he thinks. He thinks that because he interviews people, that he's in the mix with them.
Oh,
and so
you're manufacturing. Now you're
how
reaching.
am I?
You are reaching.
No, you reach.
You are reaching.
You know what I mean?
My sidekick's reaching.
Andy thinks that I just didn't play. Like he thinks I'm just a kid from Eureka that talks hockey or something.
True.
Yoink.
I've said publicly at events that
he forgets.
Cam is the most accomplished. Or no. He's not actually. I mean, change.
See, he doesn't even know how to give me a compliment. Don't edit that out. No, don't.
Okay,
don't edit that out.
He is.
Go ahead.
Biggest success story of anyone to ever come out of St. Louis. Now, Patty Maroon is catching up if he hasn't passed because he grew up similar circumstances. Probably.
Yeah, he's got a
little
more
bit
successful
off the beaten path But you were the first one to do it, and I said that you're the biggest success story to ever come out of St. Louis because you didn't have, you didn't grow up with like a dad who played in the NHL.
Hell no, nobody. First generation
parents who had a lot of money.
I was a first generation hockey player.
Parents who had
family.
Parents who had a lot of money. First generation.
Lived an hour
Patty,
away.
Similar situation, but you did it first. So I gotta say. And I've always said, and you've heard me say it at public events, actually.
Not in a while. This was like 4 years ago. But I think now that you look at me differently.
No.
I think that you look at me like...
You keep wearing brown like that. I mean,
is it bad?
I'm going to think that you're a UPS driver.
Is it bad? You guys on
biggest
YouTube,
success
check us
story,
out.
baby. Biggest success story to ever come out of the loo.
Damn.
Cam Jansen.
Fucking brown as fuck.
My sidekick.
I'm brown as fuck, dude.
Next time we're going to have you... You're a little too close to my desk. You need to be You need to be a little further away. All right, let's get to Welly.
Let's go.
But Jake Neighbors, we interviewed, and the goals, that's never happened. Yeah, you cannot manufacture that.
No.
You never want to get scored on when you're a reporter. When you're talking.
Okay.
You don't ever want to get scored on. So thank God it was like it just so happened. Years ago, and I'll give Bob Edmondson a shout out, man. Rest in peace. Unbelievable. Human, his wife Lois, Joel Edmondson, their son who's now playing in Washington.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Loved Bob Edmondson, man. He'd go to so many road games.
Big Joel, I like him too.
He was in town all the time. Joel's first ever NHL game was Colton Parayko's first ever NHL game and Robbie Fabry's first ever NHL game. And Robbie's scoring goals.
Jesus.
Dude, this guy, we're going to get Robbie on, dude.
Get him,
He's
please.
coming back from like ACLs.
5 in a row.
Back, and this guy just walking guys left and right.
I like the Red Wings just so young.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, I do too. Patty Kane going to be there. Patty Kane. The two reasons why he signed in Detroit, by the way. Number one, cap space. The number two is top 6 role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
It's like, well, why didn't he go there? Well, he's probably not playing in the top 6 there, So
and they could do something. And he could get traded.
No, I think they'll pay him next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll stay there. But anyway, what was I saying? About Jake, maybe?
Don't get scored on.
Yeah.
Oh, Joel Edmondson.
Oh, Joel Edmondson.
Tidy up, though.
Yeah,
So good.
Yeah, Joel Edmondson.
He scores.
His first ever game. Robbie Fabry's first ever game. Colton Parayko's first ever game. Fabry scored the game winner in the goal, and it was also Connor McDavid's first ever game. They were playing against Edmonton.
Yeah.
And all the story was Connor McDavid coming into the game. Well, the Blues had this other kid who was playing his first ever game. He got the game winner, and he grew up close friends with Connor McDavid. Had known him for a long time. But anyway, I'm interviewing Joel Edmondson's dad, Bob, and Joel gets in a fight while we're interviewing Bob, and he's like, "That's my boy. That's what he does."
Yeah, like Trent's
and that
daddy.
was cool, man.
Yeah, I like that, man.
Let's get to Welly.
Let's go.
Brought to you by First Form and firstform.com, baby. Listen, Cam, so many different options right now. And my lack of energy, really no excuse for that, because all I had to do was take an energy drink. But I didn't want to mess up our beautiful drinks here we have on the set. So I want to leave them be. But I'll be having one of those bad boys here in just a couple of minutes. Also, probably an energy bar. It's 12:30.
Don't do it now.
I can eat.
Oh,
I didn't even realize it's my eating time.
I get to eat now.
It's my eating time. I get to eat here in a couple minutes. I can't wait for that. So I'll probably have some First Form. I've been having the fruits and the greens a lot, mixing them bad boys together.
Your gut health, too.
They come in little individual packages, so that's easy. You don't have to measure it out, dude.
I like the hydration little package too.
The hydration.
Yeah, crush those in the morning
blah. And then I'll put on a fire and probably put on a First Form hoodie and just chill.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I just wear their shit, man. I
Copies me. Copies. And that's what I do. I do what Andy does.
He tries hard, doesn't he? He tries a lot, man.
He tries a lot.
He just... What do I copy you on?
Nothing.
Exactly. So anyway, nice, great First Form stuff. I love the beef sticks in the morning.
In the morning?
Yeah. I eat those things. Well, in the morning to me is like in the afternoon to a lot of people, man. I'm up so damn early, but I'll crush those fucking things. The barbecue ones, like, bam, 20 grams of protein. Mm-hmm. Makes you horny, which is good. That means you're healthy.
No evidence of that.
No, it does.
No
when
evidence.
You get protein in you, man, you want to, sniff around.
Oh, my God.
And that if you're horny, that means you're fucking going, baby. Mm-hmm. You know when you're not horny? Is when you're all fucked up. When you're drinking too much or you're not healthy, you don't get horny. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you don't. But all this protein you're drinking, dude, you're eating, it gets you fucking going, man. Mm-hmm. You need that. And it's easy and it's damn good. They have everything, dude. Yeah. Check out their website and you got to put /Chemistrick. Go to firstform.com/Chemistrick.
No, the link, the whole thing.
Firstform.com/Chemistrick. Go there. Mm-hmm. That helps us out. It'll help you out as well. Yeah. And you can get all this stuff. You can get all their attire. It's fucking
Christmas gifts,
stuff.
dude. And they will deliver it literally the next day almost.
And send you a written
and a
letter.
Handwritten letter.
I know that's specific towards you.
Too good to be
It's
true.
not I'm gonna write that.
No, it's
specifically towards you and your needs.
It's like Sammy.
Yeah, it's like Santa
Claus. You made
Claus.
a great selection here with what you chose. Yeah. You are awesome. We're thinking about you this holiday season. It makes you feel good.
It does.
And
they're the real deal. First Form, baby. Right
so
here.
many different options, dude.
And they're with us, man.
Don't sleep on the apparel, man. Check that out.
Oh, God. They got great shit, dude. This is their pants and stuff like that, dude. I'm all over the place with my shit.
I know.
But
yeah, you are.
Just damn good, dude.
Yeah.
First Form.
What size is that?
This is double XL.
Is it?
Dude, I'm fucking huge.
I should try that on.
God damn. But this isn't First Form. This
Cleveland
is
Browns sweatshirt Cam's wearing.
It's brown.
I
very
love
brown today.
I love it. IRC, baby. Illinois Recovery Center.
Hey, man. I know I got another guy that reached out today and said, give me Chrissy's number. I got my buddy who's not. And so I go, okay, give me his number first. Then I'll give his number to Chrissy.
What do you mean?
Well, because I was just going to talk to him first and make sure he's comfortable and then send it over to Chrissy.
Well, maybe he doesn't want you to tell the guy.
No.
It could be like an intervention.
No, a guy. Dude, listen. What the fuck do I look like?
I'm just saying.
When it comes to this shit.
The guy's
No. Trust me, I know what the fuck to do. Okay, this is up my alley.
If
you need to sit up. Go back with Maddie. This is let the big boys talk. Let the big boys talk.
But you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's like an intervention situation.
No, I don't know what you're saying because you don't have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to this. This guy needs help, and he needs it now. And I'm going to talk to him on the phone today, and I'm going to send him over to Chrissy Pondoff. I'm going to tell him what I suggest you do, and then he's going to go over to and talk with Chrissy Pondoff, and I'm just going to give him a little update on what to expect. Comes from me because he listens to us.
Does he know his friend has reached out to you?
Yes, dude.
Oh, he does?
Of course.
That's different.
Of course.
So he's like reaching out on behalf of his friend?
Yes.
Okay.
And he wants to talk to me. And so
Okay.
I could fucking calm his ass down
it.
first because he's losing his goddamn mind. And his wife's going to leave him.
Oh, God.
That's why.
Well,
then I'm going to fucking, let me talk to him first.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy's the fucking coolest son of a bitch ever. And he's going to talk to Chrissy and he's going to get into IRC and it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put your work in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just fucking, no, you go there and you work on yourself.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you need to do. Everything you're doing right now is against yourself. Like pills in you, all that bullshit is against you, man.
Can I say the
you're,
phone
You're
number?
hurting yourself. This is going to help you.
888-743-0971.
That is. There it is.
I have a photographic memory. Did I tell you that? Like if I
Well,
write something down, I just can remember it forever.
Um,
No, have I told you this? I can write it down and then
888-743-0971.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you did. You got a good. I hope you have a good memory, Andy. Because if
How's
I'm
your
not
memory?
doing not good. I'm not doing business with somebody like this without
Did
a
you
good
see
memory.
that Chevrolet commercial with that old lady that has Alzheimer's?
Yeah. Yeah, the Christmas one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think she really had Alzheimer's?
No, but it's
Or
a
you think she-
non-woke.
or you
It's a
think she-
non-woke commercial, and I didn't mind it. You know.
You think she's acting or no?
Yeah, she's acting.
You don't think she really?
Maybe she did, Andy. Who cares? Like, she's gonna be okay.
That's a long commercial.
So, fucking long commercial. Was it Chevy
Chevy.
with all the Christmas stuff? Yeah, it's not a woke commercial.
She was like,
That's all I care.
I'm taking Nanny out for a drive, and she takes him to like where was the guy? Why was he at that house?
I don't know.
Are they not together anymore? She started having memories, and hey, that hit close to home for a lot of people,
People
dude.
are crying, dude.
Because
No,
that
you're
has
right.
got to be one of the hardest things to go through
Yes.
for a family member
100%.
to see a loved one go through that type of traumatic
It just was realistic.
medical decline, dude, where they can't even remember.
It wasn't a.
and their own family members aren't even. Like,
It wasn't this like fraud drawn up
recognizable.
fucking thing to tie everything together so you can
Mhm.
everybody is happy. No, this is like hardcore but realistic, and it makes you cry, man. And
a lot of
and
people were.
a lot of people, yeah, they should.
Do you cry when you watch?
I will sit there and go through social media and find a clip of a young kid who's like got head blindfolds on. He's doing boxing for blindfold. And he's like got blindfolds on, and then all of a sudden his daddy comes. That's been in fucking goddamn shit fuck Syria for the past 18 months.
Yeah, those
And he
are good
comes
ones.
home and he's talking to his kid. He's boxing with his kid, and his kid thinks he's boxing with a trainer.
I know.
And he's like, he keeps calling him Chip.
Takes the blindfold
He keeps
off.
calling him Chip. Hey, Chip. And you could tell he's like, he's throwing heat too. He's like doing back punches, like fucking Superman back punch, whatever it is. And he's like doing crazy shit. And all of a sudden his dad keeps calling him Chip. And he's like,
Yeah, okay.
what is going on here? And all of a sudden he sees his dad he hasn't seen in
I
18
know.
months.
Those are very
Sorry, am I
emotional.
bothering you?
No, I just wanted you to
Jesus.
tie it.
No,
in a
Andy's
bow.
got a story for us. He's going to talk about the bar mitzvah again. Good God. Cam, look at my daughter.
No, that's
My
not
Jesus
that's not
fucking
what I said.
Christ.
I'm showing you.
How are you not? You're out of touch. Look at her. My God. My God,
I'm
damn,
saying,
homeboy.
look at
Like, send me a picture
look
of
at
Ty.
the decorations.
Dangling and stuff. Like, you're sending me these. They're all dancing and shit. I'm like, I can't. Like, what
That's
the fuck?
not what happened.
You should like this. I'm like,
Oh, I
it's
didn't say
all
that.
good. Like, don't post that.
I didn't post anything.
Just saying, there's creeps, man.
I know. Like, you're apparently one of them.
No, I don't want to see it.
My sidekick.
No, you go ahead, post that. No, post it. And you'll have, wow, she looks great. And it's 40-year-old men. No, don't post that.
Dude,
Are you aloof
I would-
to things? Are you that much?
Dude, I ain't posting that.
My 13-year-old daughter is gonna.
Can I
she's in her swimming suit.
tell you
Look
Listen,
at her.
When her friends come over.
Wow, she looks great. She looks great. Oh, look who's saying it.
Okay. all right.
45-year-old men.
Okay. When her friends come over, they were getting ready to go, whatever. They come down the stairs. I was like, okay, where's the rest of your dress?
You're like
That's what
this.
I said.
Post. Don't do that.
No, I
dude.
don't post that.
Don't do it.
888-743-0971. Call Christy Pondoff or Eric Conley today.
Yeah. They will take care of you. They will.
Yes, they will.
There's always hope.
Always hope. Tesson Roofing. Brett Tesson. The best in the business, Cam. You know, there's a lot of roofers out there, but there's only one Brett Tesson.
Shit kicker.
Well, fall in that category. Be on my line.
The weather's getting fucked up a little bit here in St. Louis, man. We're gonna get rocked by all kinds of weird shit.
New material.
No,
please.
but that's legit.
New material, please.
When we say
talk about the Nano Shield.
Oh, Nano Shield, hell yeah, that's coming in the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get that in the summertime.
Do it now though.
Yeah, get it done now, dude. Absolutely.
New roof.
You're gonna sell. You're gonna save money because it fucking cools your house down. My house gets so hot, dude, because I have huge windows everywhere, and we have it's like nothing blocking it, man. The sun comes like right over our house, dude. So we need that big time. Our fucking bill is hardcore, dude. We need that. If you want to save money, get that Nano Shield going now. But if we do get rocked in the next couple months here in St. Louis, man, you call them up. Your roof gets fucked up from hail, from tornado. From hardcore headwinds. You call Tesson Roofing. Brett will come out and hook you guys up, man. Get it done. It's going to be a fucked up winter. And not to mention, it's going to be hot as shit in the summertime.
Yes.
Get that Nano Shield.
Say hail now.
Hell nah.
Call Brett Tesson today, man. My winger.
Poor guy.
We'll probably shut down the opposition.
Oh, yeah. God.
Tesson Roofing, man. Find out why all the preferred insurance companies go to him.
They go to him. There's a reason for that.
Yes, they do.
So check that out. Tesson Roofing, baby.
Sparks.com, baby. SPARX, Cam. For those of you keeping score at home, you got to spell it right. SPARX and SETH.
Well, he's looking at your Instagram pictures
Oh,
of your daughter. I'll tell you that.
God.
He might have been.
Hey, he better not be.
He might have been at that party.
At the bar mitzvah.
He might have been. Everybody's like, "Who's that kid in the corner?"
No, dude. At the bar.
I'm just saying.
At the bar mitzvah, they have these hype dudes. Like they look like Usher.
Oh yeah.
And they just have the area like
with the girls?
corner, dude. They just make so much. I mean, they must just kill it. Working every bar mitzvah and birthday party and stuff.
I'm just saying.
So listen, I'm giving Chloe a big 13th birthday party with like a DJ and stuff, and I want you to come to it.
Man, why would I do that?
You're coming to it.
Dude, no. Have her friends there. You don't need me there.
No, you gotta come.
No, I don't. No.
Adults are invited.
I don't go to parties like that.
Adults are invited.
I don't do that.
It's an adult party too.
No, it's not. She's 13 years old. There's a bunch of 13-year-old kids everywhere.
No,
like,
you're
why
not
would I
coming?
go to that?
You're saying no.
Why do you want me there?
You're saying no.
Probably. I got things to do.
Very disheartening.
I go to like 40. My buddy turns 40.
I'll go to your 40th party. That's already in the works.
I'll know if it is
secret.
I'll know if it is, but like I'll go to that. But like a
Cam
13,
thinks he knows.
You think I'm going to go to a 13-year-old girl's party?
Right.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
So you're saying Seth was there? Who is Seth? Tell the people.
Well, if your cat's missing, I'd go to his house. But Seth is a weirdo fuck that's sharpening your skates, that doesn't give a shit about hockey. He's killing animals. He's looking up hardcore weird porn that you need to look at his goddamn history. He's doing your fucking skates. Your kid's dominating, and he fucking cross grinds them. And he goes out there. Your kid goes out there, toe picks because of shit fuck Seth. And he goes in the corner and he busts his AC joint out. That's what he does. And he's creeping out people in the subdivision. Just so all you know.
Okay. So Sparks does what?
Well, you don't need him. You pass by weirdo Seth because you have Sparks in the back of your truck going to Indiana, back of your truck going to Notre Dame, going back of your truck. You sharpen your skates before you go in these tournaments. You could bring the equipment going to the tournaments. You don't need to go find a guy that's open at 6 o'clock in the morning, which none of them are. So you got a 7 o'clock game, 8 o'clock game. You can't get your skates sharpened. Your kids are stepping on shit left and right. And then you're like, I got to go to Seth. And Seth's like this, looking up weird porn, smelling animal bones and shit. I'm just telling you.
My God.
Fuck him. Get Sparks.
Okay, use the promo code Cam and Strick and take your skate sharpening into your own hands.
Yeah, do that.
And it won't ruin your tournament.
Yeah.
Bellman and Bellman.com, Cam. At Bellman, you get what?
Swinging dicks. None of that bullshit.
You mean like the sales guy who just...
Yeah, it just comes out and he's just bragging about himself. He's like swinging his dick around. And your wife's like, help me. He's like, I know you. I remember you in high school. And your wife's like, what? I didn't go to high school with you. Yeah, you did. Me and you had a thing going on. Is this your husband? Fuck him. Remember me and you?
I used to wrestle.
And Annie's like, help me. What do I do here? And Lori's like, God, get this guy away from me.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything.
Well, I probably could.
So then I got to go there and be like, get the fuck on.
Do you know
swinging
you can
dick,
get like adrenaline and stuff like that? How do you think like mothers like get cars off of babies and stuff?
They
like
don't.
That? Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
They lift the car.
No, mothers don't
off
do
of
that.
Their baby.
No, a fucking Samoan that's 300 fucking pounds lifts a helicopter off of fucking something because of adrenaline.
A helicopter?
Yeah, but in water. Yeah, but
oh my God,
yes,
really?
It happened. Yeah. His strength, he just went, I lifted it up. The guy came out like that kind of stuff. But you're telling me a mother will do a lot of things, but as far as like lifting big fucking boulders, you ain't doing it, and Lori ain't doing it.
Did you see?
So if you're you need to call me.
Did you see that cobra that like spit out that deer or something?
Yeah, dude.
Threw up a deer.
Happens, dude.
No.
Like, that was the Komodo dragon.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was. Okay.
So it ate a Komodo dragon?
Listen,
The cobra?
a huge fucking boa constrictor, a huge python, could maybe swallow a deer. Like that's
it was a python.
a huge python.
How big is their mouth, dude?
Huge. They untouch, like
Kind of like
they detach.
like an alligator.
The alligator does a little bit too. Yeah,
It does. Thank you.
yeah. They attach.
Thank you.
But
You're not the only one that knows.
no, you don't know much at all when it comes. to
I
this
know
shit.
things.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Not really. It's all good. So I don't expect you to. Not too many people know a lot of stuff.
Well, that's
like
why I have you as my sidekick,
that.
as
Yeah, no shit.
the co-host to the
You
co-host.
don't even
to
know
the
about
co-host.
72 virgins, dude.
Dude.
Those are your
I
people
don't
going
wanna
toe
know
to
about
toe,
that
baby.
one, though. Okay, I know.
I'm just saying.
Can you just like help me? Like, not.
Well,
That's a tough subject.
yeah, it's hardcore.
I don't know all about that.
You should know more than you do know.
Hijade?
Huh?
Hijab?
Jihad.
Jihad?
It's called jihad.
I know.
It's a
I
practice.
don't want to know
use.
about those psychos.
Hamas
dude.
is not good, dude.
No, they're not good. I know that.
But you don't know who's Hamas and who's not. They're all
Yeah,
connected.
they all. How do you judge if you're Hamas?
That's why none of those Muslim countries are letting them in.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Well, you going to take all the refugees from Palestine and U.S.?
Hell no.
You want to?
No, I'm not doing that.
I mean, do you think Ireland wants to right now? You know what they're going through? Conor McGregor's fucking coming
What's
out.
going on in Ireland?
Same kind of thing. And these girls got stabbed.
Hamas and stuff?
Well, they're just refugees
Palestine?
from Muslim countries that don't know how to assimilate.
What does that mean?
Assimilate?
Yeah, like you mean like adjust,
Adjust to
fit in.
Yeah. Now you don't have to fully, but you can't be rapey poo
Oh my
like you are in
God.
fucking some of these
Is
countries.
that what they're doing?
Well, women don't have any rights in these countries, so they treat women like shit. Not all of them,
Yeah.
but a lot of times they don't, and they treat women like shit.
Man.
It's
Okay.
fucking crazy, man.
well,
Not all of them.
Yeah. Bellman, you have a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on one side of the street. Cam on the other side, it's Buick GMC. Cam's looking at that Buick Enclave, frosted
Those aren't
white
bad.
with tan interior,
I got a Jeep right
captain
now
seats.
that they gave me, and
Yeah, it's very nice.
it's nice. That thing heats up in 2 seconds. Runs
Really?
great.
Now that's important because
Brand
a
new.
buddy of mine picked me up from school in his Jeep every day my freshman year. He was a junior, he was a senior actually, and I played varsity my freshman year. So he was
No,
on the
you
team.
didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, come on.
I swear to God,
You played varsity football. Your
hockey.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Show me.
How do I show you?
Show me the roster on a varsity team.
I will, but I did. All 4 years, I played varsity hockey. True story.
They must have sucked.
No,
Parkway
they're
North.
They're pretty good back then.
Yeah, real good. Were you a power forward?
No, skilled.
Oh, it's good. Coochie.
Kucherov.
I mean, come on, Andy. Andy brags about his hockey career more
I'm
than I do.
just telling you.
Andy chirps me for my hockey career.
Why would
Like,
you be
he just
surprised that high school? It's not that big a deal. Like varsity or freshman.
No, it's not a big deal at all.
Like if you're a good player, everybody plays varsity.
Even if you're not a good player, you could probably get on that
Depending
team.
on which program it is.
Yeah.
Bellman and Bellman.com. Get there today. Get yourself a new ride in time for the winter, man. Hey, it's very important. You're safe this winter. They approve everybody. So you have bad credit. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
nice.
approved. And they will welcome you with open arms, man, and give you that respect that you want. You want to have a positive buying experience, then you go to Bellman. You want to have a bad buying experience, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you want to have a good one that you'll remember and have a relationship and always know that you can trust them. You go to Bellman, BEHLMANN, located where, Ken?
Troy. Troy, Missouri.
Kyle Wellwood on the Cam and Strick podcast, baby. Fueled by First Form.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yoink. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
Do I look okay? You haven't seen me in so long. Well, we played against each other, but even like do I look that bad? Do I look okay? Do you recognize me?
You look the same.
Okay, thanks. See, motherfucker.
Yeah.
See, motherfucker. What's up?
Because that is true. Like, Cam looked like this when he was 16 years old. That's the reality.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
God almighty.
So we just kind of hit record and we just go, man. So thanks for doing this.
Yeah, dude.
Great. Yeah, no, nice to see you guys.
Yeah. What are you doing with yourself nowadays? Are you working out? I mean, you said you'd lost a bunch of weight. You're training.
Yeah.
Was that for
Not
this
that much
for
weight,
this
but I
podcast?
was
Was that for the podcast or just to get healthy?
Well, I was a stay-at-home dad, so you just get lazy, I think, all day long, just taking care of a young one through COVID and everything, and you find you're out and out less, and then all of a sudden when you're walking around or having to play a sport or something, you're way out of shape. So fortunately, I'm out here in Vancouver where we got the hills and the mountains, and when you get out hiking with the dogs for a couple months, all of a sudden you're in great shape again. So
did they let you go outside during COVID in Vancouver? I'm just curious because I know how strict they were.
It was hilarious what they were doing. I used to take my son to the park, and I came in the one day when COVID started, and they had put caution tape all over the park, and of course, so I just knocked the caution tape down and said, "Let's play," because it's outdoor. And sure enough, 2 days later, they fenced the whole park. So it was like, you got to be kidding me! You can't even take your kid outside to play. Yeah, they were hilarious.
They'll get you for that.
They might seize your bank account for that shit, dude.
Exactly.
It'll be like
Psycho.
a billboard in Vancouver, wanted.
Look what he did
With your picture in like a Canucks uniform.
Exactly.
Crazy, man. So like, where at in Vancouver are you? Like, what kind of setup do you have, man? Where you at?
I'm up in the mountains, so I guess I could probably show you the view we got here.
Yeah, baby. Oh, dang, D-Dog. Oh, dang, boy. Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, we got, we're up here on the side of the mountain, so it's nice and fun, and, you can go down into the city to see people, but otherwise it's kind of quiet up here.
So are you like in Squamish? Are you like towards Whistler? Like, where exactly are
West
you?
Vancouver. So I look at downtown Vancouver. Squamish is on the same coast as us, but it's about a 30-minute drive, halfway to the Whistler.
Yeah.
Whistler's about an hour and a half drive up the highway.
Yeah, no, I love it up there, man. We went there, my wife and I saw a couple bears up there.
God.
So be careful of those bears. Are they coming and going through your trash or no?
No, but you see them on the trails. Yeah, you have to, with the dogs, you got to make sure you put bells on and really make noise, because if they don't like your dog, they're gonna get it. So.
Black bears, though, right?
Yeah.
More black
Yeah,
bears than anything? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
But
bells
they're-
scare them?
The grizzlies are in Whistler, so if you get up there, there's some grizzlies. But you catch them on the wrong day, you're peeing your pants out there. That's for sure.
Have you had any crazy encounters or no?
No, you see them quite a bit, and they're sort of used to people on the trails. So, but there's stories in the paper all the time.
You have bear spray, or do you? Because I know you probably can't carry a gun, but do you have bear spray or anything like that? Or are you just like, take the dog, I'll save the family?
Yeah. I'd probably sacrifice the dog. My wife would be really upset.
Oh my god!
Do you walk only with the dog that you don't want? Like, you take your tell your neighbors, hey, I'll walk your dog today if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So stay-at-home dad, like, what do you mean by that? And what does your wife do?
My wife is a therapeutic counselor, so we have a studio here in Vancouver where she talks to clients, and then when she's not working, we rent out the studio to other counselors by the hour. So they don't have any upfront costs to hold a location. They can just book by the hour. So, a lot of young counselors that get started in their career use the space. So that's been really helpful for them to build a career. So, so she does that, and she's been working at that, and, she wants to expand soon. So, yeah.
Are you an entrepreneur? Like I think you're involved with a company called Head Check, right? I want you to tell us about that. But have you invested in other companies as well?
I was doing that. I was doing venture capital. I went to school for financial planning, but it was going to be quite full time, and I wasn't ready for that. So, and my wife wanted to work full time, so I stayed at home and did some investing. But yeah, I am on the board of Head Check Health. We do concussion management for any level of sports, but primarily the pro sports or amateur junior leagues. So I know, I guess a client in St. Louis would be Major League Soccer. So we manage the protocols for Major League Soccer. We make software so that sports organizations can, in the CFL, when someone's suspected of a head injury, we manage that through software for them. And then they know everything that's going on as far as their concussion management.
Damn, boy. That's pretty cool, man. So when you started making money, you knew what to do with it, or were you like, I'm gonna make it rain, kind of like we all did when we first started, or were you like, no, I am ahead of the game, I'm gonna start investing and whatnot?
No, I just had fun with the money when I was a kid, for
All
sure. I
right.
think from teenager to early 20s, I was just having fun. And I had a financial manager that was picking things. And then when I retired, I went to school for it. And then I just took the leap and started doing it myself. And it's something that I enjoy doing. I get to go to meetings and see what businesses are up to, and you know.
No, that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
You got to educate yourself, man. Stay
Damn right.
busy. Keep that brain power going. Obviously, if you're smart, you got to use it. But as far as I know, you didn't have any real concussion history as a player, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong. But where do you think we're at from a hockey standpoint in terms of concussions? Are leagues reaching out to you? Are you involved with any hockey leagues? And where do you think the NHL is at with the concussion issue?
Um, Being a board member, I can't talk about the NHL actually, but we do manage the BCHL here, and what we do is like an enhanced care package. So we typically manage an entire league, and we set up the concussion protocol with the doctors in order to manage the whole thing efficiently. And there's a decent amount of concussions every year. Let's say 50 to 70 in the BCHL. Which is the 16 to 20 years old who want to get scholarships, right? So it's super important for them to get their college education. So it's something they really wanted to do in the league. So if anybody's suspected of a concussion, they get to follow the protocol with a doctor remotely, and then also we make sure that everybody that's suspected of concussion is cleared to return, and also at the end of the year everybody's cleared out and ready to do what they want to do with their life, and have all the documentation they need. So it's been really good around here in BC. But we're at the smaller levels. There's always more of a challenge because they don't have people on the sidelines that are athletic therapists or doctors. So we work on that right now, the last 3 or 4 years, trying to find better solutions for that age group.
Listen, man, I know Cam played with you for a couple of years there in junior in Windsor, but I've reached out to some of your teammates today, man. I bring up your name, they chuckle, they laugh. Everyone's got their Kyle Wellwood stories, man. I mean, it just seemed like you just kind of had this carefree attitude. You took it serious, right? I mean, you wanted to play well, but you seem like you're a pretty good teammate, and guys like you, man. How do you think how would you describe the way you approach things, as a player? Is that pretty accurate or no?
Yeah, that was accurate. I was not serious by any means. That would not be anybody. Nobody would say that about me, for sure. I mean, in the playoffs, everybody's serious. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
But I think at the start of the season or halfway through, I was just having a good time. I was just there to have a good time with the guys. And as far as the hockey, it's a game. I was fortunate to be have some skills around the net that I could score, and I knew where to go and pass. And, it sort of came down to who I was playing with once I got higher up levels, as Cam knows, is that, once you get to the NHL level or American League, like who you're playing with out on the ice all the time makes a big difference. So, you get fortunate to play with really talented players, and then you get the stats, and then you go a month with other players who are focused on penalty killing or face-offs or something else, and you didn't get the points. So that was a big focus for me. I wasn't fast enough to do my own things out there, so I relied on others.
Yeah, but you were shifty as shit. So like you dominated juniors. You went in. Actually, you played in your backyard. You had all the skill in the world. You're shifty by getting away from guys, finding space and stuff like that. And even in like the American League, playing against 30-year-old men, you still dominated. So like the leap from the American League to the NHL, like describe that, because like our guys just a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, just to have the reach on you. You still had some unbelievable goals and stuff like that. But was that like what's the difference between the American League and the NHL for you?
Yeah, I think when I look back, I think I was quite lucky to have good situations. At the start of junior, at 17, I led the league in scoring, but I had two overage defensemen. I had, guys, two 19-year-old wingers who could score and play. So, I was just getting to make plays around the net, being shifty, making small passes, and getting, a lot of points. And then the same in the American League, I got fortunate to play with a good right winger on the power play, and we just lighted up the power play, right? So and you had some defensemen out there who could shoot from the point. So sometimes you just get situations where you pile on points, and when I made the NHL, I didn't really make it. I think Matt Sundin, who was a right-handed center, got hurt the first game of the season. He got hit in the eye with a puck or stick, and he was out for 3 or 4 weeks. And I had been cut like I was every year in the NHL, starting in camp, and then I'd get called up when someone got hurt, and so I got called up, and I was able to play in that power play spot, right? So I was fortunate to get there, and then when Mats came back, since he was a right winger or right-handed center, he played the half wall, and then I could play my best position, which would be around the net and sort of on the bottom of the goal line there. So, sometimes you just get lucky early on. And that's sort of what happened to me. And,
Hey, but Kyle, you had 87 points in the American League. David Ling had 88.
Linger.
Now, from what I understand, you guys had an agreement on the bench that nobody would go out there and score in the last couple of minutes of the game, and you guys would tie for the scoring lead on the team, right? And then what happened? He scored an empty netter without you on the ice, or what?
This is really funny. He even made the agreement. Like I didn't care. But because we were third or fourth in the league in scoring or something, we weren't going to be the tops in the league. And we got out there with an empty net on the other team last game, and it's a defensive zone draw. And I let the other team win it. And David Ling rushes out to block the shot as fat like a jackrabbit. Puck hits him in the shins. He skates down. The puck's heading to the corner by the goal line, and he shoots it from a difficult angle instead of skating around and looking for a pass. It scores, and I loved it. He was hilarious. He's somebody that for me, it's motivating to have a character that I'm playing with, because I would get really bored throughout the season, right? So when I played with David Ling, he's always entertaining. He's always keeping the game fresh. He's always got something going on. So it was a lot of fun playing with him.
So wait, well, what was the agreement though? He made the agreement with you on the bench. What did he say to you?
Talking. He's like, he's always talking like, we did it. We're both the same and whatnot. Crazy. Yeah. And then, we're both the same. And then he gets out there and gets the scoring title on the team. And of course, he's smiling, loving that. He's loving his personality, and I liked it too. It was real.
Yeah, I played with him in Nottingham, man. You ever see the video of him after like Nottingham's beating somebody like 8-0, and the Zamboni's going by because something happened, and he goes behind it and starts like doing he's surfing behind it and riding the waves like it was crazy, dude. He was a blast, man. I had a fun time with Linger, dude. Yeah. Good time.
I love how you say you got bored. Hockey was boring for you or what?
Oh yeah, it sure did get boring. I didn't hit a fight either, right? And I didn't penalty kill, so I didn't have that much to do. I think that when things were going well, and I needed somebody that had a lot of energy out there. That's for sure. Like playing with Cam's great, or like I got to play with Darcy Tucker. It was a lot of fun. So guys that made it fun out there all the time and had and sort of brought a lot of energy to the game really helped me. I always played much better like that.
Did your coaches like you? Like, and did you like your coaches? Like, who'd you butt head with, and who really kind of had your back as a head coach?
You know what? It's hard to tell. They didn't talk to us very much back then. I would say that Paul Maurice was really good to me, but I had ended up getting injured. Like I hurt my groin, and my second year, and he was playing me with Mats and being on the first line, like saying like, "Hey, like you're doing good," giving me a lot of opportunities, and I ended up hurting my groin, and ended up having 3 surgeries in a row, not handling it very well. I hadn't ever been hurt, and I wasn't in great shape and didn't want to do rehab very much. So it was a tough time for him because he wanted me to really succeed, and I wasn't in the best mindset. I was in the early 20s, and just didn't do great with the injuries.
Yeah, you go ahead, Andy.
Well, how'd you break your leg though? Because didn't you have like a broken leg around the same time or no?
Yeah, so that's what happened. I had 3 surgeries on my groin, both sides, then a corrective one, and then when I went to train, and it must have been April or May, the first training session, he goes like, let's play a little bit of soccer warm up, and I rolled my foot, and so I broke my foot, and I was so out of shape, and then that time they were giving you like OxyContin for your surgeries, and we didn't know that it wasn't a good idea to take those for extended periods. Like I was just taking them to work out. Like, okay, I'll go rehab and take an OxyContin and feel good like that. So I had finally gotten off of that and broke my leg when I started training again. But fortunately, and then the Leafs just let me go. They cut me once I broke my leg. And so Vancouver picked me up. So I just moved to Vancouver like that day and said like, I have to come back and try to make it. And they were really good to me here, training wise and things. And, I did get caught at camp in Vancouver, and they put me on waivers and tried to send me to Russia. But then 2 guys got hurt again. Kessler and Dimitra got hurt, and, power play guys. So I got to go out on the power play, and then I played 2 years here. So
OxyContin, eh? Dude, did you get fucked up on those?
Oh yeah, how could you not?
I know, dude.
Yeah, I had my first surgery, and I had a prescription for it, and I only took it for maybe 6 days, right? And then I had gotten off of it. I didn't take anymore, and I started rehabbing because we were in season, and I ended up coming back and playing and doing good rehab, and everything was great, but I was playing through my other side that was hurt, and then I had a second surgery at the start of summer, and then that summer I had new OxyContin, and I was taking them all summer, thinking like, okay, like this is fine, like yeah, you get a bit of a high off of it, but you could still work out and do things. It's just you were not getting any better physically. So those things weren't known back then too, just like the concussion things. Like I never had a concussion, but there's a lot of times that you'd get on the bus after taking a big hit after game, and you couldn't read a book, you could hardly watch the movie or something, nobody talked to you, you just sit there kind of like dizzy, but we didn't know those were symptoms of concussions, right? You just sort of hoped it went away the next day.
Dude, I'll never forget though, you get to Vancouver and you just said it. You're reading a book, dude. It made me think of it. You're reading the book by poolside. You got the cast on your leg. Somebody takes a picture of you, dude, without your shirt on. Yeah. It's like in Vancouver, like
I thought you looked good.
You look like you're in some like random apartment complex, with nobody around, and like you're reading a book, and all of a sudden this goes viral and it's everywhere, man. Were you like, what the? Like, how does this happen?
Oh yeah, I was so embarrassed, and I remember the guy who took the picture. I knew his name because it was in Windsor. He came. It's like an apartment building and it's mostly seniors or retired people because like I just needed a small apartment in Windsor for the summers part time. So it's mostly seniors and they have a little pool thing and it's all surrounded by hedges. And the guy had to like sneak through the hedges and take a picture of me. And I was like, what was that about? Right. And like the people around the pool were like, what is that guy doing? Like,
He's creeping, dude.
He is.
yeah, and then the next day it was in like the major papers in Toronto and Vancouver.
I
Very
thought you looked
strange.
good though. I thought you looked kind of jacked. Like, it's like fuck that.
Yeah.
Post that goddamn
Well, you
thing.
seen me in junior where I didn't work out once, so I guess I had a little more muscles.
Were you pissed though? I mean, you said you were. That had to be embarrassed.
Yeah, I was
I'd be
so upset.
embarrassed too,
I,
man.
I, I was so I knew like how much harder it'd be for me to make the team the next year, right? And yeah, sure enough, when I got to camp, uh, Vino ended up cutting me and saying like I'm not good enough shape to play in the NHL at camp after he cut me, and I'm like, oh great, like thanks for saying that. Now I can't even get a job anywhere, right? And sure enough, two guys get hurt, and he had to call me and say like, oh, we know we sent you your contract to Russia, but like we want you to come play now. And I was like, oh, sure, like I'll head to the rink. So I went to the rink and ended up playing on power play with the Sedin twins and
Uh,
getting a bunch
Ain't
of
bad.
tap in goals. I think I had 8 goals in the first 11 or 12 games, just because I got to play on a power with the Sedin. So I ended up sticking around with Vino for 2 years, right?
you like him? I heard you guys didn't really see eye to eye a whole lot.
Well, yeah, I couldn't like him after that, right?
No.
Like, but he's a decent coach. He opened the door. He's a very simple rules philosophy. Guys really thrive playing with that, right? When a coach just sort of knows who to put out there and opens the door. Has a few things that he wants done, but otherwise, you got to play. So
Who was cool on that Vancouver team? Like, were you single? Were you like in the mix? Like, who was your like running partners?
well, Shane O'Brien was there, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
we had been because it was on waivers, we were in a hotel together. So we hung out after every game, basically, right? So he was super fun to go out with, and he wasn't shy. Most times you go out and you're in a Canadian city, you're doing things on the low key, and he was like the exact opposite, right? Like
Oh yeah.
he'd go out and funnel a beer in front of all the fans, right? So yeah, he was a riot. It was a lot of fun.
But like
There.
when you
Darcy
guys,
Hordichuk was there. I sat beside Darcy Hordichuk
oh yeah,
the
Hordy too. We
whole
just had
time
him.
there. He was always coming up with funny things.
So when you guys like the coach and everybody knew like if you and Shane hung out the night before and you walk in like they're like evaluating you too everywhere you go, right? Like what do these guys do? Like I get the feeling, right? Like I mean every time you walk in the locker room, like we gotta freshen up a little bit because they know we probably went out.
Yeah, well, the thing was, is Shane was so obvious about it when he went in the next day that there wasn't like questions or anything. Like it wasn't. He was really funny that way. Like he would even show up late, and like everybody knew, but everybody liked it because we needed that on the team, and they had even said that's why they brought in Hordichuk and O'Brien and some other guys because. It might have been a little too nerdy on the team, and they were like, "Hey, like we got to bring in some guys that bring some little more to the season, right?"
I get
So
you, man.
they were everybody was cool about everything there. Like, yeah, I'd say all the leaders of the team would come up and ask, like, "How was the night out?" or something, right? Like it was very much like that.
Compare playing in Toronto versus playing in Vancouver. Like two major Canadian cities. They get a lot of attention, a lot of controversy, headlines galore. I mean, which place is easier to hide and which place do you think is easier to play from a privacy standpoint?
Well, Vancouver's much easier. It's a small town, and the hockey fans that are the hockey fans would just say hi and leave you alone and not really want to have conversations too much, right? And if they did, it was appropriate. Where I think in Toronto, it's such a big city, 4 million people, and they're just gigantic Leaf fans that if they randomly saw you, they would just have to talk to you about the Leafs and give their opinion on other teammates and say like that guy's not playing good or this that, and you'd be like, hey, that's my buddy. Like, what do you like? What do you think? Why are you telling me you don't like this guy on the team? Like, beat it, buddy. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. I preferred to my rookie year. I just loved playing in Toronto because it was so new. I was 20 years old, and I just would love the Saturday nights to go out and just have a good time and be popular and great. But then the next couple of years, you start getting sick of it. So
they're like, you're -4. You're like, I'm -3, you dick.
They're yelling out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, but what about like, okay, so it's sometimes a pain in the ass to play for the Leafs. Okay, I get that. But you are in the spotlight, and even after your career, I'm sure you can go back there and like do an autograph session and probably make 10 G's. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of opportunity as well, right?
Yeah, I think I haven't really been back to do anything like that in Toronto. I know the alumni there probably have so much to do. They don't really reach out. But in Vancouver, we do a lot of alumni stuff. You wouldn't get paid in Vancouver for things. People have already seen you so many times that it's not really a big deal. But in Toronto, with all the little communities all around that are huge hockey fans, if you're going to go visit, Barrie or Mississauga or all those towns around there, then yeah, you could probably do autographs. But I don't know if I'd enjoy that. So
it's an hour. You just get it done, and then, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Hey, who was your GM there? Was it Berkey or was it Mike Gillis at that time?
In Vancouver, we had Gillis.
Yeah, okay.
And then in Toronto, we had Pat Quinn and then Ferguson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ferguson Jr. Yeah.
So you were there when Luongo was there, though. Was he the captain already, or was he not the captain of the team?
He was the captain, and a few of us didn't really believe it because the French. I got there. I was sitting beside Hordichuk, and Dimitri was there, and some other guys that were, they came in the room, and because you got the Sedins there, you got, Bieksa, Willie Mitchell, Kessler, you got some decent leaders there, right? And when they came in the room and said, and it was Vigneault, and there's this French connection in the locker room too. We had some French guys, and when he said like, "Oh, the captain's Luongo," like me and Horchuk weren't quite sure if he was serious or not because we hadn't had a goalie captain, right? But yeah, he was named captain. Yeah, it was quite interesting.
What about Kessler? Because we just had Horty on too, and he said he bumped heads a little bit with Kessler a little bit. How was your relationship with him, and how was he with everybody in the locker room?
The locker room was, you had the Kessler, Bieksa, Burrows. We had a lot of guys who were very
clicky,
great to play with because they were aggressive and they were willing to like get out there and stick guys and that. And then you had the more passive guys like the Sedin twins and the D-men who were sort of like just stay-at-home guys, whatever, and Luongo too. And Luongo wanted things just perfect in front of him. And then when guys take penalties, he'd get mad, but sometimes he'd be happy because he'd be sticking up for him. I had a good relationship with Kessler. He's from Michigan and I'm in Windsor, so he'd always want to invite us out in the summer and things like that. Like he's a super friendly guy. When you're on his team. But yeah, the butting heads would have been, those guys like to take penalties and be more aggressive. And then you had other guys that were like, hey, I don't even penalty kill, just stay out of the box. Like, we're going to win. Like, you have the Sedins, the best 5-on-5 players in the league. And then they were great on power plays. I was like, if you never took a penalty, I don't see how you'd ever lose the game. So there was always a bit of that.
Was Luongo a good teammate though? Like, guys like him? Like, was he in the mix off the ice, hanging? Because he hated his contract. I mean, he loved it on payday, right? But obviously, it prevented him from getting moved and all that type of stuff at one point, and he was pretty vocal about that.
Yeah. I mean, they structured the contract in such a strange way. It wasn't a normal contract, and they had sort of his agent and then must have sold it to him as this was going to be a good thing for you, right? And yeah, he was giving up money because we had such a good team, right? And we wanted to bring in, you know, Matt Sundin came to play and some other guys would come to play and wanted to win. So he ended up with a bit of a weird situation. Cory Schneider was playing well too. But no, he was like a really good regular dude. You know, he took his thing super seriously. But yeah, as a captain, he's a goalie, so it kind of would get hard, right? You know, it's something I wasn't used to. You know,
Like in timeouts, would he come by the bench and be like, "Listen,
yeah, like, what you
here's the
gonna say?
deal."
Yeah,
Between periods.
I mean,
yeah. So I mean, it's hard as a goalie. Like, what do you say? Hey, go block some shots, guys, or go hit, or do that. Like, you can't do it yourself physically, so it would get hard, right? And
it's goofy. It's goofy.
It's goofy, and he was already the personality that he was incredible goalie if he saw the shots or if things were positioned right around him. Like, you couldn't beat him. Like in practice, you can't beat him, but if the puck goes across the ice, he doesn't move as fast. He's so stationary. So he would, like, when the goals would go in, it would be because someone made a nice cross ice pass and he's not there because he's playing the shot, right? So he would say, like, that's not really my fault. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, in his own mind, you could tell. And it was true. It was like, yeah, he's going to stop every shot. Why are you not playing the pass? You know? So it was interesting because he was an interesting dude that way.
What about in Toronto? How's Matt Sundin as a captain?
No, he's the best. He's the best captain. Like, he's like super dedicated, super fun. And it was even strange to go and have another captain because actually I was having my friend or my cousin he actually came to visit me 2 days ago. He hadn't been in Vancouver forever, and he took me. He's like, "You remember Matt Sundin's 500th goal party?" And I was like, "Yeah," because he was there. I brought him out, and like, Matt's was so much fun. He hosted parties at his house, paid for everything on the road. He'd take guys for dinner, pay for everything. Like, just a great guy. I always want to know what the young guys were up to. Love the stories. But he scored his 500th goal, and I had been organizing things downtown at the clubs or whatever because I was the rookie. And he ended up getting his 500th goal, and he's like, I want to go out. And he's like, what's the spot tonight? And I like, it was a Thursday or something. And, you know, and he's such a VIP. He wants, like, in 500th goal, he wants to have a big, good time. So I was like, okay. So I rushed out of my equipment, got down there, got a couple tables, and they're like, put your card down, right? And I was like, okay.
Ooh, baby.
I was like, yeah, but only for the first bottle. But I don't have the money to do it myself, and guys would just come in and out. So it was a funny night because I was trying to get other guys like, hey, well, you got to come chip in, or you got to figure this out.
Dude.
And the guys weren't budging, and they were laughing at me. And so I ended up having to tell the server, like, hey, like, you got to get it from Matt. It's like, I can't cover this bill, like, whatever it was going to be. And yeah, my cousin was laughing at me that it was cheap. So I was like, I couldn't carry the whole tab that night. But yeah, he'd come out and only have a couple beers, Matt's too, right? But he wanted the whole show with the multiple tables and the bouncers not letting people in and all that. So he ended up having to pay for most of it.
For his own 500 goal party,
Yeah,
he's paying for it.
Oh yeah.
He's a big dog. Who are the other big dogs? Who else was making money on that team?
Oh, lots of guys were making money. You know, I think we had, McCabe was there making decent money. The goalies were making decent money. Belfour was there.
He ain't paying. Belfour's like, I'm out of here.
You drink my whiskey.
He's like, well, I'm not saying he's cheap, but, you know, he's Eddie Belfour. He's like, somebody else is paying for it. I'm here for the party, you know?
Yeah.
That had to be fun playing with him, man. He's such a legend.
Not everybody went out for the 500th goal party because it was a Thursday, right? So, yeah.
So, who wasn't good to you? Like, did anybody, you know, even when you were young, did anybody like, hey, you need to start working harder, and just like you kind of butted heads with as far as like an older guy?
You are out of shape.
Yeah, like you're out of shape. I'm going to evaluate your body. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I think even at Leafs camp, my first year, there was a lot of the older guys because we were fighting for jobs, right? And I played on the fourth line, so I was fighting for jobs with some older guys at camp, and they were like, "You're never gonna make it," and things like that, right? Which, of course, when I walked in the locker room, Cam would have saw me. You wouldn't have guessed. Like, is this a trainer? Like, what's this guy doing?
So you toe drag me.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't. I didn't even pay attention. I didn't care at all. Like, I wasn't even paying attention. So.
Hey, did you really practice one time with 2 right skates?
Yeah, a couple times even. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Like,
he had 2 pairs. He had 2 pairs of skates, and when he had to practice somewhere else, you'd have to bring him on the bus or whatnot. And yeah, I was out to lunch. I'll tell you, but when it was practice and they said like it's going to be somewhere else,
yeah.
like I was so out to lunch and didn't want to be there. I was just like, oh my goodness, where are we going? Like, get all your gear on. We got to go practice for 25 minutes. And it was like, yeah, I was like, okay, like, sure. And then packing my gear, I wasn't paying attention half the time.
Dude, I remember, in juniors though, and like nothing, it's like Mike Kelly and the Windsor Spitfires. But when you know you're gone the next year and you're probably going to make the American League, like you kind of can do what you want in juniors at that point and at that early 2000s, as you know and I know. But I remember one time, man, I think you were sick and in Windsor, and then we're getting on the bus to go out of town, and we're driving by, and I see you driving with your buddies in your little BMW driving around. We're like, there goes Welly.
Oh yeah.
You remember that little BMW you had in Windsor? It was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, because I remember pulling up next to you all the time in your white SUV. As a teenager, Cam had this, I don't know, it was a Lincoln Navigator or a Chevy Tahoe or like a really nice white SUV. He had a signing bonus from New Jersey, and he had the nicest car on the team. And everybody else had, an older vehicle, and Cam had the really nice one that could fit like 6 or 7 people.
That money's gone, by the way. All that's it's been gone for a long time.
Hey, because the story was like you guys had to like get dressed and then get on a bus to go practice at a different rink, so you had to bring your skates with you, and you just happened to bring 2 right skates. He didn't bring a right and a left. You brought 2 rights, and people were like amazed that it didn't even phase you. You just put them both on and
I went out and practiced with times. It hurt. It hurt. But it was funny. Like, guys were loving it, right?
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Are you going to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, well, "We're here. Like, I'm going to put on the 2 same side skates. Whatever." It hurt, and I couldn't go very fast. But I wasn't. Like, it was a regular practice and a regular season where you get on the bus and go somewhere, Like,
but what happened when you went to Leafs camp? And then they cut you, I guess, right? And they sent you back to junior, but you didn't bring your equipment with you. You just like left it there in Toronto, so then you just didn't skate for a couple days. You're like, oh, I don't have my stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that stuff would happen all the time to me, I remember in junior they tried to make me switch gloves, and I wouldn't, and I went out there with no gloves. Like, I was
yeah, dude.
Like, during the game, and they were like, "No, like, you have to wear these gloves." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'll go no gloves." Like, I was a bit of a jerk sometimes.
You'd rather wear no gloves.
Yeah, but like even at like like some of the workouts you had to do for testing before, like push-ups and like pull-ups and shit like that, where you just like, you know what? I'm gonna get 115 fucking pints. I don't need to do this military shit. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it was just a different time.
I know.
When they said like, "Here's the testing," I'd be like, "Okay, just mark me a 0 or whatever." Like, let's get the games going.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll dominate.
Well, I'm here to play the games. Let's just play. I don't know what all this stuff is. Like, I'm sure it doesn't matter. And but nowadays, looking back, like, if you put the work in as a team with your fitness, it's way easier when you're in your 20s because you've built a base, right? So, it's much harder for me in my 20s when I was after my injury and I was trying to get in better and better shape. I was like, oh my goodness, I got to put in so much work compared to everybody else that's got this strong base. So it was quite challenging.
Yeah, well, Brett Hull was the same way. So all you had to do was score 80 goals a year, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been nice if I didn't get hurt and got to stay with Matt Sundin my whole life. But I got hurt and didn't stay in shape, and then I had to try to build up my career, and yeah, it was challenging. Yeah,
It's pretty amazing, man, that you went 159 straight games without getting a penalty. Like that is crazy. Like,
yeah,
are
yeah.
you like aware of the streak? Are you going into games and being like, I'm not going to get a penalty today, or is it just the way you
No, it
played
was
and the
way.
way it played
It was
out?
fine. The year I played with Cam, my last year in junior, I didn't have a penalty. I had 100 points, no penalties. Like I wasn't interested in it. So I wasn't that physical. I was just trying to play the game, try to score.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Ryan O'Reilly's the same way, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like this guy hardly ever get. I mean, he had 2 penalty minutes one year. Like playing like 20 plus minutes a night. It's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
even like trying to even getting your stick caught up with somebody because you turn and you hit somebody weird, and you're taking face-offs too. So maybe you
yeah.
gotta. It's like I can't believe that, dude. It's crazy. Good for you. Goddamn
Well,
discipline.
yeah, well, yeah. So you were getting 250
I know.
minutes of penalties.
I had a
Cam,
bad
so.
year when I played with you. Andy already pointed out. He looked at my stat. I had a bad year.
Well,
okay.
because he scored 11 goals his last year, junior. So I'm thinking like every year he
No.
scored around there.
No, I
But
fucked that year.
He had 1 goal in 50 games. I'm
I was
like, Cam,
partying.
I could
I
do
think
that.
it was empty net too.
No, actually, Cal O'Reilly hooked me up with a goal.
Did
I
he?
remember. Yeah, no big deal. It's all good. But yeah, that was a weird year, man.
Hey, why'd you leave Russia? Like, what went down where you said, I got to get out of here? I'm sure a number of
Well,
things, maybe, but like, give us a
there-
couple.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, they had switched multiple coaches when I got there. Someone, a Russian from Toronto that I knew played in the NHL. I think it was Yushkevich, said like, "Oh, come, I'm coaching, like assistant coach, whatever." So I went there, and then they let go of the coaching staff. The new coach was okay. I played the first 3 or 4 games at 20 minutes a night, doing well, and then they fired him and brought in a new coach from Europe somewhere, and he just came out to me. He's like, Russian teams are for Russians, and so I sat the bench. I was playing 30 seconds a night,
30
but he had to put me in the
seconds.
line. 30 seconds. You could dress extra forwards, so they'd run 4 lines, and I was the extra guy. And 30 seconds, like or 0. And so all the other guys were like, "What are you doing?" And then they were practicing me in mornings with the junior team and with the senior team. So I think they were trying to get me to leave. But the thing was, it was like October, September, November, and there was no spots in the NHL yet, right? So my agent's like, "Well, there's not going to be any spots here. Like the season just started. You're going to have to stick it out as long as you can." So I just stayed and practiced multiple times. But the thing, the plane rides. The one time we had a plane ride in the wintertime, and I think it was around New Year's, and just after New Year's, and we were in the middle of Eastern Russia, and there was no airplanes there except for ours at the airport, small airport, and the de-icer and the tractor for the snowplow were the same thing. You just switch its attachments. So and it was snowing. So he's de-icing, then he'd do the runway, come back de-ice us, and he'd say, "Give it a try." And we tried to take off 3 times, and I'm going like, don't even try to take off. This is like ridiculous. So when he didn't take off, I was like, thank goodness, like this isn't going to be a nice trip, and they're smaller planes. And so when we finally decided not to take off, I was like, okay, we're going to take the bus back to the hotel, right? Because it's like 1 a.m, and they're like, everybody grabs their jackets, their winter parkas, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we got to stay here till the morning for a new plane. So everybody slept on the plane. Everybody got the vodka out, and we stayed overnight on the tarmac in freezing cold.
Oh my
God.
And I was like, okay, I have got to go. Yeah.
What else? Like, what did you do in your free time there? Like, were you hanging out with anybody on the team? Could you just walk down the street in your town and be like, I'm going to go to this little pub and hang out with good-looking girls or something?
Yeah, we were just outside of Moscow, and there was Fedor Fedorov was on the team, Oleg Petrov. There was quite a few guys that spoke English, and then also played in North America. So yeah, it was a decent time. Like there was a mall. We all stayed basically in the same um, sort of condo building, if you can call it that. But and then my wife found out she was pregnant, so she came to stay with me in Russia too for a couple months. And so it was a super interesting time. Yeah.
She like, yay, this is fun.
She was like, I think it was the jet lag and the being pregnant. She just slept the whole time with the time change, everything, and then like, oh my goodness, yeah.
So how'd you leave though? Like, do you tell the team, or do you just pack up your stuff and leave?
We were waiting. I was trying to get out of there, right? But they were still paying me, and they said like the budget doesn't change over till the new year, too. So they couldn't do any buyouts or anything. Like if I left, I'd lose the contract, but I'd still be free to be there. So then after January 1st, they did a new budget, and then they just came and with whatever European agent was like, okay, this is what we'll give him as far as the buyout for the rest of the contract, which was like nothing. But I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Well, you got to remind me who your agent was, man, because I remember like I was in the hospital. My wife was having a baby, and I was getting these text messages that, hey, Kyle Wellwood's in St. Louis. He's at the game. They're signing him. And so I reported like from the hospital, from like the ER room, that Kyle Wellwood's signing with the Blues. And the team kind of denied it for a little bit. I don't know if you had your official release from your Russian team or what the situation was, but I think it was, I'm trying to remember who your agent was, man. He gave me kind of like an assurance that like, no, you're there and you're going to sign with the Blues. But then you had to go through waivers again. Like it was the craziest process because you did practice with the team one day, didn't you?
Yeah, I was with the team, and you know, I thought it was a really good chance for me because they had Brad Boys there, who I knew, and he was a right center half wall player, right? He could shoot,
Yeah.
right, and he was smart. So you know, I thought that was, and the Blues at the time didn't have a good power play, so I was like, okay, good, like I might get a chance to be in a good spot here. So, you know, I did practice and played on the power play. I remember in practice, like, oh, this could have actually worked well for me here. And then we didn't even know about the reentry waivers. I don't even think. I think, or we did know, but we didn't think because the Blues were like fifth last or sixth last in the NHL at the time, and only a team worse than the Blues could take you off waivers. And we didn't see that happening. And then San Jose ended up being 1 point behind them or something in the standings. So, you know, and actually my poor wife, since St. Louis isn't too far from Windsor, we got back to Windsor and I had an SUV and I was like, let's pack up our stuff in the SUV, drive to St. Louis. You know, it's so central. You can get anywhere from St. Louis. You know, we'll just pack up our stuff if this waiver thing's happen or doesn't work out, and we'll have our vehicle there and all our stuff. So sure enough, we get to St. Louis, pack it in the apartment they give us, got the vehicle there. And the one place that would have been too far to drive to,
San
Southern
Jose.
California, is like the one we go. So I sent her in January. This is before even like the navigation's very good. I was like, okay, so you got to pack up our stuff and drive from St. Louis to Windsor by yourself, right? And she's like, oh my goodness. So she had to drive up to Chicago, back around to get home all on her own.
Where'd you meet her at?
Pregnant, of course.
Pregnant too. Pregnant. She's fine. She's fine. She'll be all right.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, here you go. This is after coming back from Russia. Like,
she's still jet lagged, eating like borscht over there, whatever the food's called, like borscht, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So, like, how'd you meet her?
I met her out here in Vancouver when I was, my friends actually came to party for the Olympics because remember, the Olympics were here when I was playing the Canucks and everybody, all the hockey teams, we all got off, right? So everybody was on like a 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
And so I had buddies from Windsor saying like, I gotta come, like you gotta let me stay there. So I had 3 friends come and we went out Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. And Monday night, they're like, we're going again. And I was like, I'm not going out. Like, you guys just go out on your own. And then they're like, no, you got to come just to get us in or whatever. So I came, and then I ended up sitting next to her somehow, and I was like not having it. She's like, "Oh, you're really boring," and I was like, "What? Like, what do you mean I'm boring?" And then so she left, and I went and tracked her down, and we ended up talking all night, and then and she never left my side since. So it really
Aw.
just randomly, yeah.
Yeah, see,
Cool,
that's
man.
true love
I
right
love
there.
that, dude.
What's the story when you got your chip or your tooth chipped, but then you like pulled your tooth out? Like your teammates were at a bar, and all of a
Oh,
sudden you showed up at a bar with like right around Christmas time with no teeth. You pull it out
yeah,
yourself or what?
yeah. Well, I've gotten hit a number of times. Finally, I got them fixed, but yeah, I had gotten hit at the worst times. I felt like one time in the minors at the very last game of the season, both teams are out of the playoffs. It's a third period. We got a fun night out planned because we're out of the playoffs, and I think it was David Bowl. I don't know if you remember
Oh
him.
yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
He just comes up behind me. I don't even have the puck, and he just tried to do like an old like sort of push your arm from behind, and he ended up getting a stick up and cracking me in the middle tooth, and it's so cracked I have to go to the dentist, root canal, everything all night long. So that's why I had a partial flipper, they call it. Most of the career that it's bringing in and out, but I got hit a bunch of times. Yeah, just I didn't wear a visor until very later on in my career. So I was not very tall. So as Canada now, you get hit just randomly all the time.
Yeah, especially taking face offs, dude. Like you
Yeah,
got clipped.
yeah.
So what do
Yeah.
they do? What do they got now up there? Is it all like, do you got veneers? Like, what are you doing?
No, well, they put those titanium rods up,
Yeah,
and then they screw teeth in. But
you
yeah,
look good. You look good, man. Damn, you just do. Damn right.
Hey, your
yeah.
brother, is he like you? Are you guys completely different? I mean, he's like been into coaching and all that. And did something happen? Was it him who had like the serious like leg
Yeah, the leg.
injury? He got his
Yeah,
leg like cut
yeah.
open or something.
He was the opposite of me. I still remember because we had an ice rink in the backyard when I was growing up, and he had never skated before, and he must have been 2 years old. And we put him on the ice, and he just flew around the ice, like just couldn't believe it. Like you never seen somebody skate like this, right? So he this whole life he could always skate, and he wanted to do other things. He wasn't so into hockey until. And he got drafted late in junior to the Spitfires, but like wasn't that interested. But I did bring him up on a Saturday night in Toronto and took him out, and he was like, "Oh, I want to do this," And so he dedicated himself to hockey. He was in the gym, and yeah, he was like the hardest working guy on the teams. Every team he was on, he was like the most fit guy at camp, like very fast, did penalty killing, knew what to do, great with the coaches. But then he went 2 feet first into the boards, and his back skate cut his Achilles in behind his skate by 90%, and he had the blood all on the skate. He had to rush to the ambulance and did emergency surgery, and yeah, that was it for him. He had to retire.
Really? Never played again.
Yeah, he tried to rehab for a couple of years, and he had an insurance package that said like you had 10 games to play, but if you played more than 10, it was like you were healthy. But if you played less than 10, you could get your claim. So he ended up playing 3 or 4 games and being like, "There's no way. Yeah, I can risk it, right?" So.
What do you think of this whole like neck guard stuff? Do you think it should be mandatory grandfathered into the NHL?
Um, I can see it for kids. I think the NHL, like you're adults. Like you've been playing your whole life. If you want to, or not, you can choose, right?
I
You
get
know.
that.
So I think for kids, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's not. I mean, I remember wearing a neck guard till 10 years old or something. I mean, I don't know why you put your kid in with other kids who can't skate very well and falling that you wouldn't have a neck guard on. Like I'd put one on my sons for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What about like what was your worst, like the worst time you had playing? Like what's the worst year you had? Like the worst moment, like the worst like span of hockey where you're just like, God damn, this is awful.
It was certainly the last year in Winnipeg. We had a really good first year was the inaugural year we were there. We didn't make the playoffs, but everybody was like really dedicated, all 82 games. It was a lot of fun. Claude Noel was the coach. He was like really laid back, but like always brought the energy and cheered guys on. And then he took a different philosophy the second year, where he was like, "I'm going to be hard on you guys because we're going to make the playoffs this year, and we're going to be, first place and whatnot, and win the cup." And when we struggled early, he was doing that. When I say struggled, we were 500 or whatnot, right? Like playing basically to your talent level. And I remember getting healthy scratched like the third game of the season or something, and the lines are moving back and forth, and nobody was having much fun. And I think it was after the lockout. It was only half year too, so it was like condensed schedule. So it was like super pressure focused, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to get another NHL job. So this isn't. I'm probably ready to retire.
What'd you think of like Evander Kane? Like it was a young Evander Kane back then. Like how did he interact with the guys? How the guys deal with him? Like were you there when Bufflin threw his clothes in the shower and stuff like that, or were you not there for that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, all those things were definitely deserved. Like he's my line mate and my buddy. Like we played really well together on a line, and I got along well with him. But yeah, he'd do a lot of things on his own. Like you'd see him at the restaurant, and you'd be like, "Hey, Evan, why didn't you wait in the lobby for me?" And he'd be eating on his own and stuff, and he'd still want to eat alone, and you'd be like, "Okay, bud," like. So, but he'd go out and do his own thing. He wanted to be like, he always wore nice clothes, bought all kinds of stuff when he was on the road, and guys would be like, why do you need four Louis Vuitton bags for somebody? And like, he was just being himself, but it was so foreign to what most guys are, quite not very showy and humble, and he was like the opposite, right? So yeah, he like you try to give him a hard time, but he took it so seriously. If someone gave him a hard time too, like it could be a fight if you said something, and he'd be like really offended. So it was an interesting year for sure. But I mean, I really liked him on the ice. He was a great player. He still is a really good player to play with.
So if he came on the plane with like 5 Louis Vuitton like purses, you're like, "What are you, a woman?" And he'd be like, "I'm gonna fight everybody."
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Who's that going to?
Say it again.
So
I get you.
So he would, he'd get in a fight in practice or something with a guy for sure. Like, yeah.
What about Big Buff? He was cool.
The Buff.
Buff was the best. He was the best guy for sure. He was hilarious. Yeah, I really, everybody got along with him, but I had a lot of fun with him.
He's a fisherman. A fisherman now.
Yeah, he would always go fishing too. Because we were in Winnipeg, he'd drive. He'd be out fishing all the time, going on trips. And he was having boxes of beer on the plane because our flights were so long, right? At Winnipeg, we were playing in the Atlanta division still. So we were playing the Floridas and Carolinas from Winnipeg. And so we were just back and forth on these planes. And, he was having beers on the plane. And then he ended up.
Let me see him.
What do you got, a Rottweiler?
Let me see him.
It looks very scary.
Let me see what you got. And what you got there?
I got 2 dogs.
What kind?
You want to see them?
Yeah. What kind?
Cocker Spaniels.
Oh, nice.
Oh, little babies.
Johnny Jim. Come here, Johnny Jim.
I got bit by a Cocker Spaniel one day, and I got 20 stitches in my lip.
From who? A Cocker Spaniel?
Yeah, a Cocker Spaniel bit me in the lip.
A Cocker Spaniel would bite
stitches,
you.
dude.
That's what you would get bit by, a Cocker Spaniel.
I know.
That don't bite anybody.
Didn't miss a game.
No, you didn't miss an interview. Hi, look at the little
Didn't miss
one.
an interview. Oh, look at the gray beard. Look at the gray beard. I like that.
Hey, Welly, what are you into? Like, you're a smart dude. You know, like, what are you into, man? Like, are you into like podcasts? Like, are you into like political shit? Like, what are you into? UFOs? Like anything? Boating? What are you into, dude?
No, I watch like cooking YouTube. I like that.
Yeah.
I guess in my off time I'd play video games still. Not like PS5, but computer games sometimes.
Like what? War games?
I don't have any time. I don't have any time anymore. I got 2 dogs and 2 kids, but definitely I watch some football. I watch some football, but I hadn't seen hockey in like 10 years, I was like, the Canucks are good. So I brought, I put it on TV, and my son didn't know any of the rules. My 12-year-old, he was like, what's that mean? And what are those lines? And yeah, it's different. BC's, there is hockey. There's a ton of hockey, but there's other sports, right? There's skiing and soccer and hiking, and there's just other things to do here. Yeah, mountain biking, whatever. So yeah, no, I just, I don't have too much going on. I got some business things, and yeah, doing things at home.
You had a better body than Bufflin, didn't you? Like, who had the better body, you or Buff?
I'd trade for Bufflin's body for sure. He was huge. When we played him, because we played them when he was on the Blackhawks and they won the Cups, and he was so hard to deal with. Because he played D, but he'd move to the front of the net on a power play. And I remember our D-men like Bieksa and other guys were like so pissed because they couldn't move Bufflin, and he could shoot from there too. And he was like, and yeah, I remember in the playoffs, like it was always Bufflin, like move Bufflin out of the net, like Luongo, and the coach would be like, move Bufflin. We're like, you can't move, we can't move this guy. But he was almost 300 pounds in Winnipeg. It was hilarious. We were all cheering him on because, like I said, we were traveling, we were having beers and on the planes back all the time. And he ended up being, I must have got to 295, 298, and they were like, okay, that's it, like weigh every day. And I was weighing every day and he was weighing every day. And they were like, you got to get down to 265 or something. And we were like, no, you have to get to 300. Like, we have to see 300 pounds on the scale. Like, you got to be the first ever, right?
First ever.
He never got there. He never got to 300 pounds.
But dude, you had a great line though. Like, because whatever, didn't they like suspend you or something, or you didn't pass a physical or whatever it is? You can tell us. But because you were weighing in, but then you were like 180 or like under 180, and you're like still like one of the lightest players in the league, and you kind of pointed that out to the media, be like, okay, everyone's saying I'm like way out of shape and whatever, but I'm still one of the lightest players in the entire league.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I said, like I would, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'd come in sometimes at 195 though, and I should have been 180 or 190. If I was like, there was a couple years where I had trained really hard all summer and I wasn't hurt, and I was, a strong 190, but most times I should have been, 182, 181, and instead I was, still 190, 195. But yeah, I was out of shape a lot. There was only a couple times where I wasn't hurt, or, I had my appendix out, I remember, the 2 days before the Winnipeg Jets camp, and then so I had this appendix surgery basically at camp, and then the first day at camp, they're like, okay, here's your fitness testing. And I'm like, I'm not doing the fitness testing. I just had surgery 2 days ago. Like, well, everybody has to do the fitness testing, and we only have the people here for these days. And I was like, nah. And they're like, yeah. So I got on the bike and just pretended, right? And they're like, you got to do all this retesting. And yeah, it's like, okay,
whatever.
Sure.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You were almost a part of one of the greatest goals in NHL history. Two of them, actually. One that you almost scored, and the other one where Dimitra almost scored, where you went between the legs and passed to him, and then he went between the legs, and the goalie made the save on the play.
Yeah,
the double between the legs. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, we were doing that in practice, I think, because Dimitra was taking shootouts and I was taking shootouts, and they had brought in the shootouts, and he was like, oh, how do you do that between the legs shootout one? And so we were doing it on 2-on-1s. He was a really funny guy.
Oh yeah.
I actually saw him in Russia too before I left. We were texting back and forth in Russia, Dimitra and I. And yeah, like to be on the plane, see him in Russia. He said this was his last year while he was in Russia, and he was going to be done. But he enjoyed it so much, he ended up playing the next year. Yeah. And that's when the camp, they had the plane crash, right? So yeah, he was an awesome guy. Everybody loved Dimitra.
Man,
dude.
I covered him here in St. Louis, and he was awesome. He and I kept in touch too. Actually, when he went out to Vancouver, when he was playing in Minnesota, and you'd see him all the time when you'd be there, or he'd come through town or whatever. But it's funny because I was talking to Pierre Turgeon last night, who's in town. He said Dimitri's the most underrated player he'd ever played with. Like, how good was
Yeah.
that guy, man?
He was awesome. His skill, like just natural ability, his playmaking, his shooting. He was great. He was smart too, and he could play center wing. And I remember we had a pretty good top six in Vancouver, and he ended up Vino healthy scratched him um, because I'm not sure exactly why, but he ended up being healthy scratched, and it was right before the Olympics. And then so he goes to the Olympics, and Slovakia does really well, and Dimitris scores like a couple points every game, and it's like this winger, first line winger of the tournament, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I can't even play in the Canucks, but like I'm the first at the Olympics, I'm the first best player, right? Yeah, and they almost beat Canada. I still remember, and they were in the semis, and I think it was 3-2 or something, and Dimitrov was on fire. Yeah, he was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Did you play with Ripper?
Yeah.
Rick Rippin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. He was the other guy, who we'd go out with all the time. He was awesome, dude. Just the best. Yeah.
Tough as hell, man. Fucked me
Yeah.
up. That was tough.
Yeah. He surprised. He surprised so many people.
He did.
Because he didn't really carry himself like he was going to fight too. It was just he was playing the game normally, and then he'd bump into somebody and then look him in the eye and be like, okay, it looks like it could go. And if you're a tough guy, a lot of times they would just naturally action like, okay, this guy wants to go. It seems like a good time. And then all of a sudden they would be surprised that he could throw both hands and just didn't even block. Just like, yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man.
You're the man.
All the best to you,
I miss
dude.
seeing you, buddy. You look damn good.
You should be a strength coach for a team or something. If a team needed a strength coach or whatever,
Yeah.
Get back involved in the game, man. You don't watch any hockey at all, or what?
None. No.
Dude, he's in Vancouver, man. There's shit to do every fucking day.
I mean, they're good enough now that they're they got a lot of top scorers. Their D look good now.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm putting them on even.
Yeah.
So if they're convincing me here in Vancouver, I'm sure a lot of people are tuning in.
Did you like the Sedins? You guys. I'm sure you did. Unbelievable players and seemed like great guys.
Those are the best hockey players I played with, those two guys, and they showed up every single day and did well, and they still do it. They drive out to Abbotsford from their nice houses here in downtown Vancouver to skate with the minor league kids. Both the brothers do, and they're the nicest, most humble people in the world. Yeah, they're super in shape. They still do all the things with the kids, and they were just dominant. Like when you played them in practice, because when you're playing at least 5-on-5 in the real games, you get your D up there at the point, and there's 5 of you there. But when you have to play 3-on-3 in that zone, and they stretch you out, and it's just you versus the two Sedins and Burrows or whatever, they would absolutely keep the puck for 3 minutes until they score. And you try to get up in the morning hungover and do a morning practice, and they would be like in the best shape in the world and just crush you. Like, and it was just embarrassing.
Were they stone sober when they were doing that?
Oh yeah.
That helps.
No, they'd always hang out, but it was they're a 1 beer, 2 beer.
I get you.
Always, and then 7 coffees after. But no, the one fun story about them is because I would like to take off my skates and get out of the locker room, and the Canucks had a bit of a lounge with all the fruits and the snacks and coffee and stuff, and they had internet and computers, and the Sedins would have their horses on sometimes that they had in Sweden racing, so they would like rush out in between periods, and we'd be watching the horses because their horses were on. They were like absolutely, I think they won the MVP when I was there. Like they were just so laser focused when they got out there, but off the ice they were just super fun.
You're saying together, right? Because Sundin, I'm curious. You played with Joe Thornton. Like you play with some iconic players.
Yeah, no, they were good on their own too. Like one of them would get hurt, and the other ones would play. Yeah, they would still dominate. But yeah, of course, together. Together they were 5-on-5. Like you would not want to play them. I think they were like plus 85 or something.
That's pretty good.
That year.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was the play for the third and fourth liners was to not dump the puck in. You dumped it on the goalie, so he'd get a whistle, and then you'd send the Sedins out there, right? Because nobody wanted to play them in their zone. So it was like, don't dump it in, just put it on the goalie.
Let them cover it.
Whistle.
And it didn't bother them, like when they would get abused and stuff like that. Like they just played through it. Like it didn't piss off your teammates and stuff.
You know what? When I was there, they were the strongest guys.
Okay.
Like when you did the workouts, like even though we had, a strong team with Bieksa and Willie Mitchell, and we had some strong guys, they were, when you had a 20, 30-minute workout or bike and stuff, they were first place on the bikes. Like they just crushed it. Like easiest on the hardest level. And then the workouts too, they were unbelievably strong when I was there. So like, no, they weren't bothered by anything. Early in their career they were, but when I was there, they were just, lights out good.
Well, man, I'm glad you're doing good, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
You had a great career, dude. You did good seeing you again, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
People rave about you, dude. Like
you look the same. Damn it. Good for you.
People rave about how good you were.
I know.
Like, you should know that.
People are going to love this, dude,
Your teammates have a lot of respect for you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, good, because I like I said, when I played with Cam, like that year that we were there, we were just having fun.
I know.
Like it was like we probably got knocked out, but like we were early or something. but we were having a good time the whole time.
Yeah, we
Let's
were.
say that.
We were. I had a good time with you, Welly, man. You're the man, dude.
You too.
We'll touch base, dude. Thank you again for this. Seriously.
Okay, see you, Strick.
See you, home. See you, buddies.
Bye.
Appreciate it, man. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Kyle Wellwood here on the Cam and Strick podcast.
Yeah, man. Awesome guy. Great teammate.
I just love the stories, man. How when he was in St. John's, I believe they had to. They were practicing at an off-site facility, maybe an outdoor rink or something, or somewhere where the fans can come. So everyone gets dressed at the rink, right? And then you bring your skates with you and your stick. So I'm surprised the equipment people just don't bring them, but I'm sure they're like, hey, everyone's getting dressed. We're getting on the bus. Bring your skates and stick and helmet, gloves, everything. And he by his locker, probably had multiple pairs of skates, whatever, accidentally grabs 2 right skates, doesn't even think twice about it.
Oh, God.
And just puts them both on and just practices with 2 right skates like it's no big deal.
Do you know how much that hurts? Just so you guys know. Like, that is probably the worst pain. Not the worst pain ever. Like, trust me, there's worse than that. But, like, trying to turn on that, like,
You think having
God.
a baby is the worst pain?
No.
You don't.
Oh, the worst pain is burning to death.
Oh, my God.
Like, what are you asking me stupid questions like that
I'm
for?
just asking you. The
Like,
worst.
I mean, having a baby's god awful. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like,
you couldn't do
getting
that.
burnt.
Could you have a baby?
How about that football? No.
Neither could
No,
I.
because men can't have babies,
No, but
Andy.
could
Do you know that,
could
right?
you deal with that?
I know that you like that emoji with the dude with the pregnant guy on there. You probably
I've
seen that
never
everywhere.
seen that.
But no, men cannot have
You couldn't
babies.
deal with
We don't
that
have a uterus.
level of pain, though.
We don't have a uterus.
I know that.
We can't have babies.
I know that.
You know that, right?
Yes.
Just so you know.
Some people
It's all
probably,
good.
Some people probably think
Oh, they do. Which sometimes I think you're in that category at the Creve Coeur Racket Club. Maybe you guys do think that way. I'm just telling you.
No,
men don't.
That's not true.
Men don't have babies.
I knew that.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I know that. You act like I don't know that.
Sometimes I don't know you. I gotta be like, hey, dude, that's a guy. He has a penis. And women have vaginas. You know what I mean?
What?
They have vaginas.
What are they?
You've seen it at least 3 times, haven't you? Unless
Cam, don't say that.
Say-
I don't know that men can't have babies. I know that.
oh, okay, it's all good.
Like, who doesn't know that?
A lot of people.
Isn't it science?
Well, sometimes
It's biological.
they don't look. They don't look at it like that
Okay.
way.
Well, most people probably know.
Men can't have babies. They have wee-wees. Women have
Okay.
vaginas.
Yeah.
They can have
Oh.
because they have a uterus.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Kyle Wellwood.
So all y'all know.
Kyle Wellwood, a hell of a talent, dude. The American League was no joke in 2004, 2005.
Yeah, he
I don't know if you
dominated
knew that.
Yeah, I played in it. 45 fights.
That year?
Yeah.
I think you've increased it by 10.
No, it's me and Brian McGrattan tied for 45.
Really?
Yeah. I had 337 minutes of penalties. He had 510.
Well, how'd that happen?
Because he got 10-minute misconducts. We talked to him about it on a podcast. I go, you kept getting
Why wouldn't you get 10s?
Because I wouldn't tell the ref to go fuck himself at the end of the game like he did.
Really?
I was nice to everybody. Those are legit 337, baby.
So those are 337 of major and minor penalties.
Yeah, me hitting guys. I never took tripping penalties.
Never got
took
a 10-minute. Having
Never.
337
I got suspended a couple
in a season without having a 10-minute misconduct would be the equivalent of Brett Hall scoring 86 goals and not having an empty net.
Yeah.
Let's double check that.
I probably had
Somebody, hey, listen, all y'all out there, and I got a lot.
I didn't have many
I got
of
a
them.
lot of people out there.
Didn't have many.
Just
10s,
so you know, I
dude.
got a lot of fact checkers,
Good,
and they will
good.
be on
Bring
it.
them on.
They will be on it. Please look up 2004, 2005.
No, they're looking up.
Albany River Rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. How many 10s did I
How
get?
many 10-minute misconducts did Cam have that year?
I remember one time I did get suspended for 3 games for fine Jan Platil. He tried to kick me in my head. It's on YouTube. So I might have got like a 10 after that game, but I never like at the end of the game go tell the ref to fuck himself.
What does
and
a
whatnot.
match penalty give you in terms of penalty minutes?
I don't know. Probably 2, 5, and 10. You know, so
Something like
you have
that.
17 probably minutes.
Yeah.
But your fact checkers are
Well,
probably
they'll
looking
be-
up whether a man could have a baby.
Everyone-
so let them figure that one out.
Everyone
first.
knows that.
Not everybody.
Everyone knows that.
Not everybody. But so figure that one out and then get back to my other stuff.
Everyone knows that. Wellwood plays in some big markets, man. A lot of Canadian cities.
Yeah. Vancouver and Toronto, man, it's pretty cool. And in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I know.
I go, what was the worst?
He loved playing there.
He said it was the worst experience ever.
Did he?
Yeah. I go, what's your worst year ever? He's like, oh, fucking
It's
Winnipeg.
great for a player, though.
Okay. In Winnipeg?
I think for a player,
I
Get a-
mean, if you're from there,
'cause the
like,
f-
it's
no,
fine,
no.
but I'd be like,
I'm saying for a player, it's not great because you have to live there, but it's great. It's a great place to play, dude. If you're good, like the fans are into it. The fans are spectacular there.
Didn't say that.
But they haven't been this year, have they been? Weren't they like nobody was going?
Yeah, they're awesome.
And everyone had their own.
Spectacular, as
Everyone
you
had their
said.
like reasons for it.
If you're good, you're spectacular anywhere
Well, they
you
had
are.
the whiteout and stuff like that.
It's just,
having-
listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I love all you guys, man. What if you did a poll? Winnipeg's the worst place in the NHL to play.
More than Edmonton?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather play in Winnipeg. Over
No, I'd rather play in Edmonton. It's a bigger market.
Okay.
Yeah. Winnipeg, they would, if you did a poll, like Winnipeg's the worst place to play. And then Arizona, but still you're in Arizona. But Arizona's the biggest joke. But Winnipeg, I would say,
Is Arizona still a joke?
they play in front of 3,000 people. And people are like, God, why do I keep hearing this on broadcasts? When you watch the Coyotes play, I keep hearing on broadcasts, these guys must love coming in this college community and college atmosphere. I'm like, are you fucking nuts? It's fucking embarrassing. They like playing in front of 3,000 people. How can you possibly say that?
I haven't heard much of that.
It's the biggest embarrassment in fucking hockey history.
Ever.
It's fucking the
Hey,
biggest joke
NHL.
ever.
Let's get
They must love it. No, they don't.
Let's get a fix.
It's a joke.
Let's get a
You got
fix for
children that
too.
don't even know what they're doing. They're just letting them in. So they, like, it's a fucking joke.
And you know what?
Good
Because the
God.
Blues played there the other day, and there was like more Blues fans than.
It's a joke. It's embarrassing. But if you did a poll on players, go ahead and do it. And now Canadian fans kill me. I love all y'all, man. I do.
Mhm.
But if you did a poll on current players where the least place they want to play, it's going to be goddamn Winnipeg. 100%.
And then Edmonton, and then maybe Arizona.
I
man.
say probably, yeah.
And Arizona, we all know that it's a great place to live.
But
and there's a
but
lot-
you're right. I'd rather play in Winnipeg
but
than Arizona.
Nobody wants to play in front of 3,000.
No,
fans.
I'd rather play in Winnipeg than Arizona.
Would you want to play in San Jose?
Yeah, sure. Fucking Bay Area doing your thing. Although it's expensive as shit out there, but no, man, you're in California.
Would you want to play in Columbus?
Yeah, I would. Columbus is a nice
I bet
city,
you Columbus
dude.
is down there though.
It's a nice city, dude.
It is
Not
nice.
much crime, especially
I know,
right
I
there.
know, I know.
I know it's a big.
I'm just saying.
Well, you're asking me. I'm telling you. You see
Remember
what you do?
Basil McRae was like, it's a wonderful place.
It's
to
a
walk
dude. It's
downtown.
you're in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio's nice, dude. Like it's relatively cheap. You could build a mansion there. No one bothers you, but they still go to games. Like no, I
How
don't
come
mind
they
it
never win?
because they suck.
Yeah, but how come some
Bad draft picks,
some
bad
organizations
stupid decisions, guys not panning out, bad trades. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
But why certain organizations
Can't figure it out.
can't win?
Because everybody else wins. Everybody else is competitive. You're competing with everybody else. Like,
Yeah,
they're
but
just a step ahead of you.
why? But
Because
everybody
of-
else can figure it out.
Because you
and have a
traded
good
guys
year
like
here and there?
Dupuis. You traded guys like you did. You done fucked up. You did.
Dupuis?
Dubois. But okay, Pascal Dupuis was a good player.
Yeah,
long
he
time for
was.
Penguins. Why do you think, Andy? Well, let's go through what they've been doing for the last 10 years. Who they
My
draft.
fantasy football
We
team
ti-
won this.
Yeah, we don't care. Who they draft, who they trade away, who they
I
get,
know.
what kind of. So look at that.
I know.
Let's break it down. Who'd you pick? What have you been doing for the last 10 years? Who'd you sign? Who didn't sign with you?
Mm-hmm.
You break that
Would
all
you
down. That's why
wanna
they're not
play
good.
in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, you're in the United States, but you're in Canada too. And you have a
Yes.
market there? Yeah, I would. I'd play in Buffalo. Hardcore, but I would.
So does that make me kind of Canadian? Really? Do you know my dad's side of the family is all from Ontario, St. Catharines? I'm part
I know St.
Canadian.
Catharines. Yep. I know St. Catharines.
My mom was born in Sweden. Holy smokes! I'm putting it all together right now. My mom was born in Sweden, so that gave me my hands. My dad has family from Canada, St. Catharines.
Gave you toughness.
So I have Swedish, Canada.
Yeah, man.
My options for the world, I could play for anybody I wanted to play.
See, Andy really thinks that, though. That's the thing. Like, he jokes about it, but that's what he really thinks. Like, he's like, Cam, I would have scored. I would have been way better than you your second year in Windsor. Get the fuck out of here.
I would have had one goal in 50 games.
You wouldn't even get on the ice. Like, you wouldn't even be the stick boy, dude.
Okay.
It's all good. You know what I mean?
You know what I would do that would help me? I'd have first form bars between
That'll help
periods
you.
and energy drinks.
That'd help you.
That'd probably give me a couple goals a year.
Well, it'd give you some
I'm gonna
energy.
be honest with you.
You might get out of the neutral zone.
Thank
with that,
you.
You know?
First Form at firstform.com. Don't forget to use our link, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Have to use that link. Listen to that. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Get that Christmas shopping and do it today. Of course, the Illinois Recovery Center, 888-743-0971. 888-743-0971.
You're damn right. That's it.
I have a photographic memory.
Good, you should.
Yeah.
You never got really hit.
No.
You didn't
Well,
really do
get-
too much
I've
contact.
gotten hit
Yeah, but that's three
three
out
different
of
times.
Yeah, but like I've gotten rocked like that every other
Yeah,
game.
but most people would not be able to remember that phone number.
I got
after
knocked
taking
out, choked
those
on my
hits.
tongue. Like there's a reason why my memory's not there.
I
But
took
you should
I
have
took
a good
big hit
memory.
against Webster.
But like
one
you
time.
should have a good memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you should remember
Yeah,
things.
that's a good point.
Otherwise,
Illinois
like, what are we
Recovery
doing?
Center, if you are in need of help this holiday season or anytime, or you know anybody who needs to reach out, man, reach out to myself. You can reach out to Cam, and we will get you in touch with Chrissy,
Yeah. They'll take care of
Pondoff,
you.
Eric Conley.
Yep.
And again, you can always call them, 888-743-0971. You
Yep.
can always shoot them an email, info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com.
Damn right, baby.
Tesson Roofing, Brett Tesson. Get that Nano Shield. Do it today. You need a new roof, you call Brett Tesson. Check him out online, TessonRoofing.com. He's the absolute best.
Yeah, baby.
Shit kicker.
Shit kicker.
My
son
line
of a
mate.
bitch. It's gonna get crazy this winter, man. I'll tell you that. You're gonna need them.
Okay, yeah. Weatherman Cam.
Why don't you look up stuff about
Weatherman
it? Like
Cam.
look it up. Like every
Well, I've looked
meteorologist
up
is talking
what's the
about
best
it.
place to get your skates sharpened, and it is at home. That's where the best
Yeah, no
place
shit.
to do it.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Sparks, baby.
That's
SPARX.
exactly right, dude. You might as well just do it at home.
Just do it at home.
Just pay for it
Hey,
and do it at home.
and
It's such a
the
joke.
last
not
year's
to.
version, which is still great, I think it's on sale.
Yeah.
This year's version's on sale. Like Christmas shopping, man.
Dude,
The
that's
hockey player in your family,
yeah.
is there a better gift?
yeah.
Clip off these, Brody. I
Yeah.
mean, buy your hockey player a Sparks skate sharpener.
Well,
They'd love you forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's more for like the parent.
Yeah.
You know, like get it for your kid
Yeah.
and tie it in with a couple other things. But like that's for you, Daddy.
And don't go to Seth.
That's for you, Mom, who don't have to go to fucking dipshit boy.
Correct.
You know, sniffing panties that he stole from next door
Okay.
neighbor. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And then he's sharpening your skates
Yeah.
while he's got Cheetos in his fucking belly button. Fuck him.
Okay.
I'm
Get a
just
Sparks.
telling you.
Get a Sparks. And use our promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save even more money. More money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which is spectacular.
Oh, God, keep loading me
At
up.
Bellman Automotive,
Yeah.
BEHLMANN, located where?
Troy,
That you get know what?
swinging dick.
So you got Buick GMC on one side of the street, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. Everyone gets approved. Everyone walks out happy. Everyone's treated with respect.
Yep. You're
All
right.
right, this has been episode 267, Cam. Subscribe. I want everyone subscribing, and I want people commenting on the
Yeah.
podcast app.
How brown am I?
What can Brown do
Evaluate my outfits.
For Maddie, for Amos. Give Amos and
what's
Steve,
up?
I believe.
Stevie boy, what's up, baby?
Dude,
love all you guys,
they're doing
man.
all our social media,
Yep.
doing a great job, man. Jason, Brody,
love all you.
keeping us on track. Maddie, Alex,
Maddie's my
everybody
boy.
here at Half Coast Studios, man.
Yep.
We are live at
Alex,
Half Coast
all
Studios.
y'all.
But subscribe to our YouTube,
Love
man,
you guys,
and
man.
do it today. And thanks for listening to episode number 267, baby.
Yeah.
On the Strick Podcast.